Chapter 697. Lu Ming landed in a forest. The trees here were extremely strange. They were dark red and completely different from the trees Lu Ming had seen before. Without thinking too much, Lu Ming took out a pile of supreme-grade spirit crystals. After swallowing them, he began to recover his Zhenyuan. Half an hour later, Lu Ming's Zhenyuan had basically recovered. Suddenly, his expression changed as he looked at the sky. More than 20 people flew over and landed. They were all people from the chaotic astral ocean like him. These people were basically peak kings who had rushed out of the encirclement and arrived here. However, each of them had suffered different degrees of injuries. Naturally, they also saw Lu Ming. Seeing Lu Ming dressed like them, they let out a sigh of relief. A few of them stood guard while the others healed. Lu Ming didn't speak. He sat cross-legged not far away, but his mind was constantly thinking, what was this place? And who were those people who attacked them? Looking at their clothes, they seemed to be very ancient. They were actually wearing beast skins. In the Divine Wilderness continent, Lu Ming heard that only some tribes in extremely remote areas wore beast skins. The key was that these people could actually refine runes and make puppets. This was strange. Runes and puppets were all branches of the path of inscription. Just like inscription talismans, only true inscription masters could refine them. These humans who were dressed like primitive tribes actually had many true inscription masters. After 1 or 2 hours, the 20 people had more or less recovered. Everyone, do you know where those people came from? And what is this place? Lu Ming asked. During the battle just now, I think I heard someone call us people from the outside world. Is this place really underground? A rather elegant middle-aged man pondered and said, Underground? It can't really be underground, right? There's actually a world underground? Someone was very surprised. The others didn't say anything, but they knew in their hearts that there was most likely no mistake. When they came in, they kept going down and didn't know how far they had fallen. If it's really underground, then it's troublesome. How do we get out? Someone asked worriedly. Since we came in through the entrance of the Martial Emperor's treasure, then we'll definitely be able to leave. But first, we need to figure out the situation here. Lu Ming said. That's right, this little brother is right. The middle-aged man nodded. At this time, Lu Ming's expression changed. He looked up at the sky, and then his face changed. He said, Not good, those people are chasing after us. Let's go. Finished speaking, Lu Ming rose into the air and flew off into the distance. The others were slightly taken aback. They turned their heads and saw over 100 giant wolves spreading their wings and flying toward them at an extremely fast speed. Let's go, let's go. Their expressions changed drastically. They all rose into the air and flew forward. Lu Ming's speed was very fast. He shook off those giant wolf puppets and landed 10,000 miles away. This time, he landed in a valley. As for the scholarly middle-aged man and the others, they had long since separated from him. However, a few hours later, the giant wolf puppet actually chased after him again. What's going on? How can those people know where I am and accurately find me every time? Lu Ming frowned and pondered. He flew forward rapidly. Soon, he shook off those giant wolves and landed in a mountain forest. Lu Ming carefully looked around. Suddenly, his eyes flickered. He drew in the air with his hand, and lines of inscriptions appeared and landed on an ancient tree. Lines of inscriptions appeared on the ancient tree, forming a mysterious inscription formation. Sure enough, there are formations everywhere in this mountain forest. These formations should be used for surveillance. They can detect the aura of nearby people and lock onto their position. Lu Ming nodded. He had an answer in his heart. In that case, I'll break these formations. Lu Ming waved his hands. The inscription formation on the ancient tree trembled and collapsed, disappearing. Then, Lu Ming wandered around the area. Sure enough, he found many such inscription formations and broke them all. After breaking the formations in this area, Lu Ming rested in this area. Sure enough, after a long time, no one chased after him. Where should I go next? Could it be that the Martial Emperor's treasure is only used to deceive people and has no other purpose? Lu Ming was very puzzled. He felt that this matter was very strange. Because the entrance to the chaotic astral ocean was definitely set up by someone outside. There must be a purpose. Perhaps the real Martial Emperor's treasure was hidden in this underground world. I'd better find a way to understand the distribution of the underground world. It's best if I can blend in. Then I'll know what to do next. Lu Ming pondered. While Lu Ming was guessing, there was a huge ancient city more than 10,000 miles away. This ancient city was basically built with stones. The city walls were made of stones, and the buildings in the city were also made of stones. In the middle of the ancient city, there was a huge stone hall. At this moment, a group of people was discussing something. Most of them were old men wearing animal skins. At this moment, a burly man was reporting to a few old men. Someone from the outside world? Could it really be someone from the outside world? A chubby old man muttered to himself, frowning and pondering. Could it be that the ancient legend is true? If someone from the outside world comes, there must be a son of destiny who can revive the ancient ancestor and teach the major tribes to inscribe the great Tao again. Legends don't come out of nowhere. All the great tribes have such legends. Moreover, if a tribe can find the child of heaven's will and revive the ancient ancestor, that tribe will receive the ancient ancestor's favor and be taught a supreme art. One by one, the old men expressed their opinions. This is a chance for our Sky Wolf tribe. Pass down the order. We can only capture the people from the outside world alive. If it's not necessary, we can't kill them. Our Sky Wolf tribe must capture more people from the outside world than the other tribes. One of the oldest elders spoke. Yes, elder. The burly man accepted the order and left. The son of destiny must be in the hands of our Sky Wolf tribe. The Sky Wolf tribe elder's turbid eyes emitted a bright light that was more dazzling than the stars. After resting for a while, Lu Ming continued to move. He randomly chose a direction and continued to fly. Boom, boom. After Lu Ming flew for a few thousand miles, two fists suddenly came at him from below. The power was terrifying. Jianghu. Lu Ming's pupils shrank. He took a few steps and used the 9 dragons' heaven-stomping steps. Heaven and earth roared as he blocked the two fists. However, Lu Ming's body was sent flying by the huge force. Lu Ming flew for 1,000 meters before stopping. He spat out a few mouthfuls of blood and his legs were trembling. The burly man from the blood poison sect followed closely behind the fists. With a roar, his killing intent surged. He threw 2 more fists at Lu Ming. He wanted to kill Lu Ming with lightning speed so that Lu Ming wouldn't have time to escape. Exploding Star Fist. Lu Ming threw out dozens of punches consecutively. Dozens of fist gleams collided in front of him. After this period of cultivation, Lu Ming's exploding Star Fist had already reached the 6th level. Chapter 698. The 3-colored dragon roared, its roar shaking the sky as it pounced down. However, Jianghu was in the 3rd layer of the spiritual sea realm and was too strong. The 2 fist rays shattered all of Lu Ming's exploding Star Fist, and the 3-colored dragon was scattered. However, it was still blocked for a moment. Just this moment was enough. Lu Ming waved his hands, and instantly, dense inscriptions appeared on his body. In an instant, Lu Ming carved 7 inscription formations on himself. Among them, there was an inscription formation for true origin explosion, an inscription formation for increasing speed, an inscription formation for increasing physical strength, an inscription formation for increasing defense. With the addition of the inscription formations, Lu Ming's battle power increased again. Kill! Below, Jianghu didn't give up, and his murderous aura was like a tide. Little bastard, I'll see how you carve inscriptions in the air. Jianghu sneered, and his fist ray was like a mountain, striking towards Lu Ming. Ordinary inscriptionists couldn't carve inscription formations in the air. Only those who reached the 7th level of inscriptionists, and those who were true inscriptionists, could carve inscription formations in the air and make use of them. This could only be done if one's mental strength was extremely powerful. Lu Ming couldn't do it now. If he carved inscriptions in the air, the inscriptions would soon dissipate. Back on the 7-colored island, the 7-colored spiritual master had carved formations in the air, and his methods were unpredictable. Boom! Lu Ming didn't bother to talk nonsense with him, and his spear smashed down. The huge spear ray was as big as a mountain, and the pressure made the space tremble. This spear was supported by 7 inscription formations by Lu Ming, and it exploded with full power. Even an elite at the peak of the first layer of the spiritual sea realm would be smashed to death by this spear. Boom! The spear ray clashed with the fist force, and a huge force exploded. Now! Lu Ming pressed the long spear, and with the force of the recoil, Lu Ming's body flew back a few thousand meters in an instant. He felt the blood in his body churning, and a trace of blood leaked out from the corner of his mouth. However, he couldn't care about that anymore. He executed the 9 dragons' heaven-stomping steps and turned into a streak of light, flying into the distance. Damn it, don't run! Zhong Imo roared and chased after him. However, the 9 dragons' heaven-stomping steps was extremely fast, and with the support of the formation, his speed was even faster. Soon he shook Zhong Imo off. In one breath, Lu Ming flew more than 10,000 miles and landed in a forest. Then he waved his hands and destroyed all the surveillance arrays in the forest. After Lu Ming devoured some of the spiritual crystals, he stood up and a cold light flashed in his eyes. This guy must die. With a flash of killing intent in his eyes, Lu Ming waved his hands and inscribed an inscription array on the ground. One by one, the inscriptions sank into the ground. It took Lu Ming half an hour to carve the inscriptions before he stopped. Kid, you're vicious enough. You inscribed 36 killing arrays in one breath and added an illusion array to cover it up. Even if that guy is a warrior at the 3rd level of the spiritual sea realm, once he steps in here, he must die. Dandan grinned. Isn't it better this way? Lu Ming smiled. Good, of course it's good. Let's go and lure that guy here. I can't wait. Dandan sneered, his eyes shining. Lu Ming flew up and went back the way he came. He didn't hide his aura at all. There were no surveillance inscriptions in the air, so he wasn't afraid of being discovered by the underground humans. After flying for a few thousand miles, a burly figure flew in front of him. It was Zhong Imo, but his clothes were messy and he looked a little embarrassed. Apparently, he met the underground humans on the way. Little bastard! As soon as he saw Lu Ming, Zhong Mo's eyes turned red and he chased after Lu Ming with murderous intent. Lu Ming pretended to be shocked and turned to run. Zhong Imo chased after him. In the process of running, Lu Ming pretended to spit out blood again. Zhong Imo sneered and said, "Little bastard, you're injured and can't run away. Rather than die in the hands of the underground people, it's better to let me kill you." Lu Ming did not utter a word. He lowered his head and ran at full speed. The two of them, one in front and one behind, traversed thousands of miles in no time and arrived at the place where Lu Ming had set up the array previously. Lu Ming flew down and started running in the forest. You can't sustain your genuine chi. This time, you're dead. Zhong Imo was delighted. He also landed and chased after Lu Ming. But after running for a while, Lu Ming suddenly stopped and turned around with a strange smile on his face. He looked at Zhong Imo. For some reason, when he saw Lu Ming's smile, Zhong Mo's heart suddenly tightened and he felt a little scared. He couldn't help but stop. "Little bastard, why don't you run? You know you can't run away, right?" Zhong Imo took a deep breath and got rid of that inexplicable feeling. He sneered at Lu Ming. "Why should I run? I'll stay and send you on your way." Lu Ming smiled. "Shameless boasting." Zhong Imo shouted coldly. His genuine chi exploded and his body revealed a terrifying power. Bang! At this moment, Lu Ming suddenly stepped forward. As Lu Ming stepped forward, bright inscriptions appeared where Zhong Imo was standing. The dense inscriptions intertwined with each other and were dazzling and beautiful. However, Zhong Imo wasn't in the mood to appreciate this kind of beauty. His heart sank as he roared and rushed forward crazily. Swoosh! The sound of something breaking through the air was heard as a giant sword was formed. It gave off a terrifying aura as it slashed towards Zhong Imo. Immediately after, gigantic swords appeared from all directions and slashed towards Zhong Imo. And this was only one formation. Then the inscriptions kept flashing. 36 inscription formations were activated one after another with shocking power. Zhong Mo's heart went cold as he roared, "Little bastard, you actually set up an inscription formation here. You're despicable." "Ha, I'm despicable. I'm an inscription master, and inscription masters use inscriptions to fight. Also, you're a martial artist in the third layer of the spiritual sea realm. How dare you say I'm despicable?" Lu Ming sneered. He stepped forward and endless inscriptions appeared. All kinds of attacks burst out: flames, storms, ice, sharp swords, battle sabers. All kinds of attacks instantly drowned Zhong Emo. In the formation, Zhong Emo roared again and again, but after a while his roars disappeared and only the sound of inscriptions was left. After a while, it quieted down and the light disappeared. Zhong Mo's figure was no longer in the formation. Zhong Emo had completely disappeared from this world, leaving behind only a storage ring. Lu Ming reached out and sucked the storage ring into his hand. Then he turned around and soared into the sky, leaving this place. His face was calm. The moment Zhong Emo stepped into the formation, he knew that Zhong Emo was dead for sure. The truly terrifying part of an inscription master was that given enough time, he could set up a terrifying formation. With enough time and materials, it was even possible to kill enemies one level higher. Of course, the formation you set up must not be discovered by the enemy. The enemy had to step into the formation for it to work. Chapter 699. Formations that could be cast in an instant were what determined an inscription master's battle prowess. Now, Lu Ming's instant formation could kill a martial artist in the first layer of the spiritual sea realm. So, it was normal that the chain formation Lu Ming spent half an hour to set up could kill Zhong Emo in the third layer of the spiritual sea realm. If he was given more time, he might even be able to lay out an even more powerful formation and slaughter even more powerful sea of soul realm experts. Of course, that was only if the opponent stepped into the formation. Lu Ming flew forward. During this time, he met several underground humans riding giant wolf puppets. Lu Ming used the 9-dragon sky stomping steps to get rid of them. Every team has a puppet equivalent to the fourth layer of the spiritual sea realm. Lu Ming was deep in his thoughts. The fourth layer of the spiritual sea realm was much stronger than him. If he met them, he could only run. No, going down blindly like this is not a solution. I have to catch an underground human and find out what is going on in this underground world. Lu Ming pondered. Of course, he couldn't fight recklessly. He still had to rely on inscriptions. Lu Ming chose a place and started to inscribe inscriptions. This time, Lu Ming spent 3 hours to set up 81 level 5 inscription formations. There were also 3 illusion formations that covered up the traces of the inscription formation. Then, he rose into the air and randomly chose a direction to fly in. Soon, he saw a team of underground humans riding giant wolf puppets. "Outsider, stop right there." With a loud roar, the team charged directly at Lu Ming. Lu Ming turned and ran. Soon, he arrived at the place where he set up the formation. He landed on the ground and ran forward. The underground humans also landed and chased him on giant wolves. After chasing for a while, Lu Ming suddenly stopped. "Die!" Lu Ming's eyes flashed coldly. With a step, the formation was activated. Endless inscriptions intertwined and enveloped more than 100 underground humans. Damn it, this person knows inscriptions. We fell into his trap. Break out, break out. A large man riding on a giant wolf puppet at the fourth layer of the spiritual ocean realm roared repeatedly and charged to the side, but what welcomed him was endless attacks. Damn it. The burly man waved his hand, and a scroll appeared in his hand. He unfurled it, and a screen of light enveloped him. Inscription symbol scroll. Lu Ming's eyes flickered. In addition to the Great Khan, there were also some other people who took out inscription scrolls. Some were defensive, some were offensive, and there were all kinds of them. They controlled the puppets and attacked continuously. However, Lu Ming had spent 3 hours to inscribe a total of 81 formations. How could it be so easy to break through? For a moment, the rumbling continued. The underground humans could not rush out at all. These subterranean humans also practice martial arts. However, their martial arts cultivation is much lower than their inscription cultivation. It seems that their martial arts cultivation is just to support their inscription cultivation. Lu Ming observed while controlling the attacks. Among them, there were a few underground humans with high cultivation. Their hands were constantly drawing. They were actually inscribing the inscription formation to fight against Lu Ming's formation. True inscription master. Among these 100 people, Lu Ming saw at least 5 true inscription masters. There were even 2 true inscription masters of 6 apex inscription. Amazing! The subterranean humans are actually so advanced in inscription cultivation. The ratio of true inscription masters is really high. Those puppets are too hard. Let's kill the subterranean humans first. Lu Ming waved his hands and controlled the inscription formation to attack the subterranean humans on the puppets. Screams sounded continuously, and the subterranean humans were constantly killed. Friend from the outer world, we have no evil intentions. We just want to invite you to the Sky Wolf tribe for a chat. Why do you have to be so ruthless? The strongest man yelled. Lu Ming sneered. No evil intentions? There were more than 1,000 of them before. In the end, less than 200 escaped. The rest were all dead. So, no evil intentions? How could Lu Ming believe it? He controlled the formation wholeheartedly. The gorgeous inscriptions shone and turned into a terrifying killing weapon. The subterranean humans were killed one by one. Of course, he controlled more attacks to kill the strongest subterranean human. The power of the 81 formations was horrifying. Soon, only 2 of the 100 subterranean humans were left. The rest were all dead, including the strongest man. Even some of the lower-level puppets were shattered. Only 5 Sea of Soul Realm puppets were left behind. Lu Ming controlled the array and calmed it down. His gaze was cold as he looked at the 2 survivors. The 2 were pale, and their eyes were filled with endless fear. Of course, these 2 were left by Lu Ming on purpose. What should I ask next? What should you answer? Otherwise die. Lu Ming looked at the 2. Don't even think about it. One of them shouted. Lu Ming's eyes were cold. He waved his hand, and a spear light burst out, nailing the man to the ground. Then he looked at the last one and said, What about you? I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. Please let me go. The man shouted. This man was a middle-aged man. He was tall and thin, and he looked quite smart. As long as I'm satisfied with your explanation, I'll let you go, Lu Ming said. He walked to the puppets that were not destroyed. He waved his hand and collected the 5 giant wolf puppets. Then, he took the tall and thin man and left. While flying, Lu Ming asked the expert some questions. The lanky man naturally told Lu Ming everything he knew and answered him wholeheartedly. He was afraid that Lu Ming would kill him if he was unsatisfied. One day later, Lu Ming sat cross-legged on a green rock on a mountain peak. As for the tall and thin man, Lu Ming let him go. It didn't matter if he let him go. After all, he didn't know where he was. So, this is really the underground world. And it's divided into so many tribes. Lu Ming murmured, recalling the tall and thin man's words. The underground world was divided into many human tribes. The tribe that Lu Ming encountered before was called the Sky Wolf tribe. It was just one of many tribes. The humans here only knew some superficial martial arts cultivation methods thousands of years ago. But thousands of years ago, the ancient ancestors of the underground humans descended and passed down the path of inscription. The combat strength of the underground humans increased greatly. But after the ancient ancestors passed down some inscription methods, they fell into a deep sleep on the sacred mountain. This deep sleep lasted for thousands of years. After the ancient ancestors fell into a deep sleep, the various tribes went to war. The underground world fell into chaos. Just like that, thousands of years passed. But in the underground world, there was a legend among the tribes. That was, one day people from the outer world would descend. And among the people from the outer world, there would be a destined person who could awaken the ancient ancestors. The tribe that could obtain the destined person would receive a great reward after awakening the ancient ancestors. So, they went everywhere to capture Lu Ming and the others. So that was the case. Lu Ming's mind became clear. Ancient ancestors? Sacred mountain? Destined person? What's going on with these? Lu Ming frowned and pondered. Chapter 700. Lu Ming took out the map and looked at it. The underground world had a vast territory and was divided into hundreds of tribes. The Sky Wolf tribe was located in the south. The Sacred Mountain was located in the center of this land. We came here for the Martial Emperor's treasure. The entrance to the chaotic astral ocean must have been set up by someone. The ancient ancestor of this world suddenly descended thousands of years ago. Could it be that the ancient ancestor was the one who set up the entrance? Or could it be that the ancient ancestor was the Martial Emperor? Thinking of this, Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. But if it was really the Martial Emperor, why would he hide in this place? And sleep for thousands of years without waking up? Lu Ming realized that the Martial Emperor's treasure was not that simple. According to the tall and thin man, every tribe was now capturing people from outside the earth, hoping to find the destined person. Then, in a month, the underground humans would have a ceremony to worship their ancestors. Every tribe would bring the people from outside the earth to the sacred mountain. Only the destined person could pass the tests and finally awaken the ancient ancestor. It seems that if I want to know the secret, I can only go to the sacred mountain. But Lu Ming looked at the map and frowned. There were dozens of tribes between the sacred mountain and the Sky Wolf tribe. If he rushed there and avoided the pursuit of every tribe, he didn't know when he could reach the sacred mountain. Also, where was Xian Yanqing now? How was he? Lu Ming was very worried. Let's go to the sacred mountain first. Lu Ming put away the map and waved his hand. A giant wolf puppet appeared on the mountain peak. This was the giant wave puppet that was equivalent to the fourth layer of the spiritual ocean realm. Dandan, how do I use this puppet? Lu Ming asked. Although puppets were also a branch of the inscription path, Lu Ming hadn't come into contact with them yet. It's simple. Puppets are actually very similar to spirit weapons. They can be called a different kind of spirit weapon. But there are still differences. To control puppets, it's very simple. You just erase the imprint of its previous owner in the puppet, then inject your spirit fire into it to control the inscriptions in the puppet. Dandan answered. Oh. Lu Ming placed his palm on the giant wolf puppet's head. A wisp of green spiritual flame seeped into the giant wolf puppet's head. Lu Ming discovered that inside the puppet, there were dense inscriptions. These inscriptions intertwined with each other and were incomparably mysterious. Lu Ming sighed. The path of puppetry was also incomparably wondrous. He had even heard that there were powerful puppeteers who could refine puppets with their own consciousness. They were like humans, capable of learning and thinking. That was amazing. Lu Ming used his spiritual fire to erase the imprint of the puppet's previous owner. Then he used his own spiritual fire to spread into an inscription array in the puppet's mind. Immediately, a wonderful feeling welled up in his heart. He felt that he could control the puppet at will. With a thought, the puppet roared deeply as a pair of wings spread out from its sides. It soared into the air and circled around the area before returning back to the mountain peak. The rate at which the spiritual fire is being consumed is truly astonishing. Lu Ming's eyes flickered. Controlling a puppet consumed a lot of spiritual power. Without enough spiritual power, it would be difficult to control it. The higher the puppet's level, the more terrifying the spiritual power it consumed. However, Lu Ming had lit 10 spiritual lamps at each level, and all of them had reached perfection. The thickness of his spiritual power was extremely shocking. It was even stronger and more profound than many 6th-level true inscription alchemists. It should be enough to control this puppet at the 4th level of the spiritual sea realm. Lu Ming flew up and sat cross-legged on the giant wolf puppet's back. The giant wolf puppet rose up and flew into the distance in the direction of the sacred mountain. Riding a puppet only required spiritual power, and its speed was greatly increased. He flew all the way, and soon he had flown for tens of thousands of miles. From the map, he had already left the territory of the Sky Wolf tribe and entered another tribe, the Red Leopard tribe. Just as Lu Ming flew over a mountain range, roars came from all around the mountain range. Hundreds of figures flew into the sky and surrounded Lu Ming in the middle. These people were dressed very similar to the Sky Wolf tribe, wearing beast skins, but the puppets they rode were different. The puppets they rode were crimson cheetahs. They also had wings and could soar in the air. People of the Sky Wolf tribe? No, it's people from the outside world. At the front was a young man in his late 20s. He was burly and muscular, and his body emitted an explosive aura. He looked coldly at Lu Ming. Lu Ming frowned. He didn't notice that there was someone below. The other party should have used a formation to cover his aura. This person is actually riding a divine puppet of the Sky Wolf tribe. It seems that he must know the path of inscription. We have to be careful. Beside the young man was a red-haired old man. He's alone. What's there to be afraid of? The young man snorted. Chi Feng, the elders said that we should not attack these people from the outside world if we can. We still need their help. The old man said, I really don't understand why the elders are so polite to these people from the outside world. Just take them down and force them to go to the sacred mountain. Why bother? The young man said coldly, looking very domineering. The old man smiled bitterly and didn't say much. Instead, he looked at Lu Ming and said, Little brother, you're from the outside world, right? We don't mean any harm. We just want to ask you to return to the Red Leopard tribe with us. We need your help. Lu Ming frowned. He had heard the conversation just now, but how could he trust them? Get out of the way. I don't want to kill for no reason. Lu Ming said coldly. Kill? How arrogant. You're alone. Let's see how you're going to kill them. The young man's face darkened. Charge. Lu Ming didn't bother to talk nonsense. He controlled the giant wolf puppet and charged toward them. The giant wolf puppet roared. Its claws were like blades and tore forward. The terrifying power directly tore the cheetah puppets apart. It's a 4th-level divine puppet. Elder Qihong, you go and hold it back. The rest of you besiege it. If it continues to resist, just kill it. The young man said coldly. The old man was quite helpless. He could only control the puppet to charge forward and fight with Lu Ming. The old man's cheetah puppet was also equivalent to the 4th layer of the spiritual ocean tier. It was extremely powerful and fought with Lu Ming's giant wolf puppet. Sparks flew everywhere. The others used all kinds of arrows and inscription talismans to attack Lu Ming. Little brother, you're only a heaven-grade inscription master. Controlling a 4th-level divine puppet, you won't last long. I advise you to surrender. I promise that I won't hurt you. The old man said. But Lu Ming didn't say a word. He continuously punched out with both fists. The fist light of the exploding star fist made the air rumble as it blasted forward. Some of the weaker puppets were killed by Lu Ming together with the people. Chapter 701. For a moment, Lu Ming could not rush in. Inscription masters who have not reached level 7 can't inscribe arrays in the void. It's too disadvantageous. However, with the strength of my spirit fire, I should be able to inscribe arrays in the void without reaching level 7. Lu Ming thought as he fought. Go to the ground. With a thought, Lu Ming controlled the giant wolf puppet and rushed to the ground. The others tried to stop him. Don't. Some of the puppets in front of Lu Ming were knocked away by the giant wolf puppet. Extreme Dao Strike. While still in midair, Lu Ming executed the Extreme Dao Strike. He turned into a ray of light and broke through everything. The few Martial King puppets in front of him directly exploded. Lu Ming stepped on the ground. Inscriptions appeared one after another on the ground. Clang, clang. The sound of swords rang out as 2 battle swords appeared. With a slash, several puppets were split in half. How can this be? He can control level 4 divine realm puppets and inscribe arrays? How can his spirit force be so powerful? The old man was shocked. Don't. The giant wolf puppet knocked away a group of cheetah puppets and appeared beside Lu Ming. Lu Ming's footsteps became faster and faster. On the ground, inscriptions constantly flashed and various attacks were launched in all directions. Use inscription talisman scrolls to blast him. The young man roared as he gave orders from the side. Many people took out inscription talisman scrolls and opened them. All kinds of violent attacks poured down on Lu Ming. Lu Ming continued to step and layers of light screens were formed. However, with a shake, these light screens were shattered. After all, it was an inscription array that he had cast in an instant. Its power was limited and it could not block the attacks of some powerful inscription talisman scrolls. Now! Suddenly, there was a glint in Lu Ming's eyes. He stomped heavily and a bright spear gleam shot toward the young man. Some of the puppets in front of the young man, as well as the people on the puppets, were either smashed or sent flying. At this moment, Lu Ming rode the giant wolf puppet and rushed towards the young man. His target was the young man. The young man seemed to have a high status. As long as he could take him down, he would have a bargaining chip to rush out. Not good. The old man's expression changed. He wanted to help, but it was too late. The young man's expression also changed. He quickly retreated and controlled the puppet under him to rush towards Lu Ming. At the same time, an inscription talisman scroll appeared in his hand. The young man's puppet had the strength of the first layer of the spiritual ocean tier, but with a slap from the giant wolf puppet, it was sent flying, almost exploding. 9 heavens! Lu Ming took a step forward and appeared beside the young man in an instant. Before the young man could open the inscription talisman, Lu Ming clawed at the young man's throat. Around them, the movements of the others stopped abruptly and stopped in the air. Kid, let me go. Otherwise, I'll make you die without a burial place. The young man roared, threatening Lu Ming. He was too aggrieved. At this moment he was in the air with Lu Ming holding his vital point. He had the path of inscription but couldn't use it. Your life is in my hands and you still dare to threaten me. I only need to use a little strength and you're dead. A cold light flashed in Lu Ming's eyes, and his body emitted a cold killing intent. The young man only felt his body go cold, as if he would face death in the next moment. His heart trembled and he didn't dare to say anything more. The giant wolf puppet flew over. Lu Ming carried the young man and stepped onto the giant wolf puppet's back. If you let me go, I'll naturally let him go. Lu Ming looked around. Okay, we'll let you go. The old man spoke without any hesitation. Thereafter, the crowd parted to create a path. Lu Ming controlled the puppet and flew out directly. Let Chi Feng go now. The old man said. Chi Feng was this young man. What's the hurry? I'll naturally let him go after I've flown a certain distance. Lu Ming controlled the giant wolf puppet to fly forward. After flying 100 miles, Lu Ming threw Chi Feng out and continued flying. Damn it! Chi Feng looked at Lu Ming's figure and growled, his eyes revealing a resentful light. Lu Ming flew all the way and soon flew a distance of 10,000 miles. Along the way, he didn't encounter any underground humans. 10,000 miles ahead, 2 red cheetah puppets were flying in the air. The 2 cheetah puppets were equivalent to the spiritual sea realm, and they were equivalent to the 4th layer of the spiritual sea realm. On one of the cheetah puppets was a young woman in her 20s. Her figure was curvaceous, and some of her important parts were wrapped in beast skin. Other parts of her body were exposed. Her skin was bronze. Although she wasn't extremely beautiful, she was full of wildness and had a different kind of beauty. On the other cheetah puppet was an old man. Miss, it's too dangerous for you to come out alone. Let's go back. The old man said. Elder Redbeard, it's fine. Don't worry. News came from Chi Feng just now. There's actually a young man from outside the earth. His path of inscription is incomparably exquisite. It's really interesting. Perhaps he's the legendary destined person. I must find him. The young woman's eyes flickered as if she was very curious. Miss, the news said that the person's battle power is extremely strong and he's also controlling a 4th level divine puppet. If we encounter him, I'm afraid it'll be dangerous. Let's go back to the group. Elder Redbeard continued to persuade. Don't worry, I'm not going to attack him. I just want to invite him back to our tribe. If I follow the group, I'll scare him away. How can I talk to him? How can I persuade him to go back to the tribe with me? The young woman didn't listen at all, her eyes looking around randomly. The old man sighed, knowing that he couldn't persuade this stubborn young lady. He could only follow closely beside her. Lu Ming sat cross-legged on the puppet and flew forward. Soon, he flew another 10,000 miles. At this time, he found that two cheetah puppets appeared in front of him. On the puppets, there was a young woman and an old man. They obviously saw him too. Found him, found him. The young woman cheered and controlled the puppet to fly toward Lu Ming at an extremely fast speed. Miss, be careful. The old man followed closely. Lu Ming frowned. He felt that the two puppets were not simple. He directly controlled the giant wolf puppet and flew in another direction. Hey, brother, don't go. We don't have any bad intentions. Don't go. The young woman shouted and controlled the puppet to chase after Lu Ming. Lu Ming didn't say a word and continued to fly forward. Brother, we really don't have any bad intentions. Stop and talk to me. I just want to invite you back to the tribe and do us a favor. We'll definitely treat you as a distinguished guest. The young woman shouted and chased after him. In the blink of an eye, they flew tens of thousands of miles. During this time, Lu Ming changed directions several times, but the young woman and the old man still followed closely behind. They were all puppets at the 4th level of the spiritual ocean realm, and their speed was about the same. The young woman was like a dog's skin plaster that couldn't be shaken off. Chapter 702. The young lady and the old man were startled, stopping in their tracks. How long are you planning to follow me? Lu Ming snapped coldly. Brother, what are you afraid of? We don't have any bad intentions. I hope you don't misunderstand. You must be an outsider. Our tribe is only asking for your help. The young lady said. Not interested. Lu Ming turned around and was about to leave. Brother, now all the tribes are looking for you. If you leave our red leopard tribe, you will have to go to other tribes. Some tribes are very evil. If you come to our red leopard tribe and do us a favor, we will do our best to help you if you have any requests in the future. The young lady said. Lu Ming frowned and let out a smile. What's your name? What's your identity in the red leopard tribe? I'm Qiyu, The young lady was interrupted by the old man as she was about to reveal her identity. Mistress, don't simply reveal your identity. The old man said in a deep voice. Don't worry, Elder Qiyu, it's fine. Qiyu let out a smile and continued, I'm the daughter of the Red Leopard tribe's patriarch. If you follow me to the tribe, the Red Leopard tribe will surely treat you as a VIP. The daughter of the Red Leopard tribe's patriarch? Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. His eyes flickered as he glanced at Qiyu and said, How can I trust you? How about this, you will follow me to the mountain range ahead. I have something to discuss with you. Lu Ming pointed at the mountain range ahead and said, No way, brother, your request is too much. How can we trust you? Elder Qiyu yelled. If that's the case, there's no room for discussion. Don't follow me then. Lu Ming waved his hand and was about to leave. Wait, I'll go with you, Qiyu said. Mistress, no, it's too dangerous for you to go alone. Elder Qiyu objected. Don't worry, Elder Qiyu. I have no grudge against him. It won't do him any good if he kills me. Qiyu let out a smile and controlled the puppet to fly toward Lu Ming. Lu Ming's eyes flickered. He did not expect that Qiyu would actually dare to step forward with him. Lu Ming controlled the giant wolf puppet and flew with Qiyu towards the mountain range. Elder Redbeard could only stand there anxiously. 100 miles away, the two landed in a mountain range. Lu Ming's figure flashed, and some of the nearby monitoring inscriptions were all destroyed by him. Previously, I heard that your inscription skills were profound. Now, it seems that it's true. Qiyu looked at Lu Ming with bright eyes. Lu Ming turned around and looked at Qiyu with a smile on his face. In the next moment, he turned into a bolt of lightning and charged towards Qiyu. At the same time, the giant wolf puppet let out a low growl and charged towards Qiyu. Qiyu was shocked. She did not expect that Lu Ming would suddenly make a move. She could only control the cheetah puppet to block while her figure retreated rapidly. She waved her hands and inscribed inscriptions. The two puppets collided and fought with each other. Lu Ming stopped and stepped forward. Inscriptions appeared and formed a battle sword that slashed towards Qiyu. Qiyu's inscription was a giant red cheetah that flew out and pounced forward. Qiyu's Tao of inscription was also extremely profound. She had reached the 6th level and was a true inscription master. She probably had several 6th-level spirit lamps lit, and her strength was also very powerful. Both of them finished inscribing the array in an instant. However, in addition to the Tao of inscription, Lu Ming also had a powerful martial cultivation. Lu Ming pointed his finger and a ray of dazzling spear gleam pierced forward, aiming for Qiyu's throat. Qiyu was shocked and retreated again. However, as he retreated, the inscribing of the inscription was naturally interrupted. Lu Ming took a step forward and his figure suddenly appeared in front of Qiyu. He reached out and grabbed Qiyu's throat. At the same time, his other hand grabbed Qiyu's slender waist. Genuine qi poured in and sealed Qiyu's genuine qi. Qiyu also cultivated martial arts, but her martial arts were only auxiliary. She had only reached the 1st level of the martial king realm. She was too far away from Lu Ming. Qiyu's movements came to an abrupt halt. The cheetah puppet also stopped. Lu Ming also stopped the giant wolf puppet. Their actions looked rather ambiguous. "Brother, don't misunderstand. I really don't mean any harm," Qiyu shouted. She felt Lu Ming's hot aura behind her and her face turned slightly red. "I know you don't mean any harm. Otherwise, you would be dead by now," Lu Ming whispered into Qiyu's ear. His hot breath on Qiyu's neck caused her to feel strange. Indeed, Lu Ming did not sense any murderous intent from Qiyu's body when he tried to kill her. If Qiyu did have any murderous intent toward him, she would have shown it under such circumstances. "What you said, is it true? If I go to your tribe with you, you won't restrict my freedom, right?" Lu Ming asked. "No, definitely not. Our elders have already sent a message to invite you back without any conflict. We won't use force to bring you back. After all, we need your help this time." Qiyu said. "Is it because of the Chosen One?" Lu Ming asked. "So you already know about it?" "That's right, it's because of that." Qiyu nodded. "So you will be going to the sacred mountain in a month's time?" "Yes, all the tribes will send people to worship their ancestors. This time, maybe someone among you will be able to awaken the ancient ancestor," Qiyu said. "Okay, I'll go to the Red Leopard tribe with you." Lu Ming loosened his hand and took a few steps back. Lu Ming asked Qiyu to come over to test her. If what she said was true, there was no harm in going to the Red Leopard tribe with her. After all, it was too difficult for him to go to the sacred mountain alone and pass through so many tribes. It would be much easier if he went with the Red Leopard tribe. "Really? That's great." Red Moon smiled happily. Then he looked at Lu Ming curiously and said, "Your inscription skills are amazing. Although you're only at the peak of the heaven tier, you can easily control a god tier puppet. At the same time, you can also inscribe an inscription array. I have never seen an inscription master as amazing as you." Heaven stage? God stage? Lu Ming was stunned. He had heard others talk about it before. Was the division of realms in the underground world different from theirs? After Qiyu explained, Lu Ming understood. It turned out that the division of inscription in this world was indeed different from the outside world. It was divided into primary inscription master, yellow inscription master, profound stage, earth stage, heaven stage, and God stage. God stage was the highest. God stage corresponded to level 6 inscription master, but the God stage was the highest here. Could it be that the highest inscription master in the underground world could only reach level 6? Lu Ming was very curious. God stage is the highest level. For thousands of years, no one could break through the God stage and reach a higher level. It is said that the ancient ancestor must have surpassed the God stage by a lot, Qiyu said with a yearning face. The two of them flew to the puppet respectively and returned to the original path while chatting. When Elder Qiyu saw Qiyu and Lu Ming returning safely, he was naturally very excited. "Elder Qiyu, this is Lu Ming. He is a very great inscription master." Chapter 703. Lu Ming and Elder Redbeard nodded to each other. "Elder Redbeard, You go back to the tribe to report the news. Brother Lu and I will come later. Red Moon said to Elder Redbeard. But Miss, Elder Redbeard was about to object, but when he saw Red Moon's big eyes, he knew that he could not persuade the stubborn Miss, so he had to go back to the tribe. Lu Ming, I saw that you know a lot of inscriptions and inscription formations during the short fight with you just now, right? Red Moon suddenly asked, with a glimmer of hope in her eyes. Not bad, not bad. Lu Ming nodded. Boy, what do you mean by not bad? I've taught you all the inscriptions and inscription formations I've taught you. Who else in the world knows more inscriptions than me? Dandin immediately yelled in displeasure. A little turtle like you can actually talk? Red Moon was startled at first, then she opened her eyes wide and looked at Dandin curiously. Of course I can talk. You can talk, so why can't I? You're so ignorant. Dandin curled its lips and looked at Red Moon disdainfully. Chi Yu's mouth formed an O shape as he stared blankly at Dandin, his eyes shining. Lu Ming smiled bitterly. During this period of time, Lu Ming discovered that there were also demonic beasts in this underground world. However, the demonic beasts had extremely low intelligence. The Martial King demonic beasts were slightly better than ordinary wild beasts. They could not speak at all. No wonder Red Moon was so surprised. Red Moon opened her eyes wide and looked at Dandin curiously. Beauty, are you impressed by my spirit? Let me tell you, I'm the head of the top 10 fighting beasts. I'm invincible in the world and I'm the king of the universe. No one can defeat me. Dandin stood on Lu Ming's shoulder and put its two front paws on the turtle shell, looking like a peerless expert. But the next moment, Dandin collapsed. Red Moon reached out and grabbed Dandin's head and looked at it carefully. This is infuriating. Dandin leaped out of Red Moon's hand and landed on Lu Ming's shoulder. It stared at Red Moon with wide eyes, as if it wanted to eat Red Moon alive. Chi Yu laughed heartily and was very forthright. Then he looked at Lu Ming and said, Lu Ming, if you know a lot of inscriptions and formations, you may be able to help our tribe a lot. At that time, the elders of our tribe will definitely treat you like an ancestor. They will definitely agree to whatever conditions you have. Oh, what is it? Lu Ming asked. For this matter, we have to start from the current situation of our Red Leopard tribe. Chi Yu and Lu Ming started talking about it. In the underground world, there was an endless war between the tribes. 60 years ago, the Red Leopard tribe was still an extremely powerful and prosperous tribe. The tribe produced many experts, possessed great strength, and occupied a large area of fertile land. At that time, the chief of the Red Leopard tribe was a well-known expert who had reached the peak of the divine level, which was the peak of level 6. But later, the chiefs of the Sky Wolf tribe, the Een Snake tribe, and the Blood Tiger tribe jointly attacked the chief of the Red Leopard tribe. In the end, they seriously injured the chief of the Red Leopard tribe and sealed him in a canyon. The chief of the Red Leopard tribe died in that canyon. Not only that, the chief of the Red Leopard tribe also carried the most exquisite inscription technique of the Red Leopard tribe, which was the foundation of the Red Leopard tribe. After losing the inscription technique, the following forces of the Red Leopard tribe became weaker and weaker. In the past 60 years, the territory occupied by the Red Leopard tribe was less than 20% of what it used to be. If it were not for the support of some elders, it would have been exterminated by the 3 tribes. As for the seal of the canyon, it was set up by the chiefs of the 3 tribes. It was incomparably complicated, and the inscription array was the unique array of the 3 tribes. Unless the chiefs of the 3 tribes worked together to break it, the Red Leopard tribe would not be able to break it. Therefore, when Red Moon saw that Lu Ming knew so many inscriptions and arrays, he wanted to let Lu Ming have a try. If Lu Ming could break the seal and take out the inscription technique of the Red Leopard tribe, then wouldn't the elders of the Red Leopard tribe worship Lu Ming as their ancestor? Alright, let's go and have a look. Lu Ming nodded. If he wanted to be valued by the other party, it would be best if he could give the other party a little favor. Alright. Red Moon was overjoyed. He brought Lu Ming to the place where the previous chief of the Red Leopard tribe was sealed. According to Red Moon, that place was very close to the city of the Red Leopard tribe, only 100 miles away. That was a huge mountain range. There were huge peaks that pierced the sky, precipitous and majestic. Among them, there were two huge peaks that formed a canyon about 10 meters wide in the middle. This canyon was the place where the previous chief of the Red Leopard tribe was sealed. There were experts of the Red Leopard tribe guarding this place. As soon as Lu Ming and Red Moon arrived at the entrance of the canyon, they saw dozens of figures guarding the entrance. Red Moon, it's you? How dare you? Men, kill this person for me. They had just walked to the entrance of the canyon when they heard a loud shout. What are you doing? Stop. Red Moon shouted. The others who were about to make a move couldn't help but stop. A trace of a cold smile appeared at the corner of Lu Ming's mouth. The one who called for them to make a move just now was a young man. It was actually Qi Feng, who was held hostage by him before. Qi Feng's eyes revealed killing intent as he stared at Lu Ming, then looked at Red Moon and said, Red Moon, why are you protecting him? This person has killed many of my Red Leopard tribe's people. He deserves to die. He should be killed on the spot. Qi Feng, the elders have long said that we have to be polite to outsiders. We have to invite them and not attack them. You were the one who attacked first. Lu Ming naturally had to resist. This can't be blamed on him. Now that he is a guest of the Red Leopard tribe, you want to kill him. Are you trying to drive away all the outsiders? Cutting off the only chance for the Red Leopard tribe to rise? Red Moon was very domineering. She stared at Qi Feng and questioned loudly. I didn't mean that. Qi Feng's voice lowered. All right, Feng. Since the other party has come to the Red Leopard tribe, he is a guest of the Red Leopard tribe. You don't have to say any more. At the side, a burly man with a long beard and about 50 years old walked over and said, Sixth uncle. Red Moon called out. At the same time, she transmitted a message to Lu Ming. This person was Qi Feng's father, her sixth uncle, and also the person in charge of guarding this canyon, Qijin Mountain. Why did you bring this little brother here? This is the forbidden area of the tribe. Qijin Mountain said. Sixth uncle, Lu Ming comes from the outside world. He is an extremely talented inscription master. He has mastered many inscriptions and formations, which are not available in our Red Leopard tribe. He might be able to break the seal here and take out the secret inscription book inside. So, I brought him here to have a try. Red Moon said. Hearing this, Qijin Mountain's face darkened. He said, This is the forbidden area of our Red Leopard tribe. How can we let an outsider break it? This is simply nonsense. All right, you guys leave quickly. Qijin Mountain waved his hand. Sixth uncle, taking out the secret inscription book of the Red Leopard tribe is related to the rise and fall of the Red Leopard tribe. It is very important. What's the harm in letting Lu Ming have a try? Maybe he can really break it? Chapter 704. Qijin Shan's face turned gloomy. What a joke. The seal here, my Red Leopard tribe has been here for 60 years. Many god-level inscription masters have tried, but none of them could break it. He's just a brat, a heaven-level inscription master. How can he break the seal here? There's no such possibility. Leave quickly or else, I'll take it as him trespassing and suppress him. Sixth uncle, Lu Ming hasn't even tried. How do you know he can't? With our tribe's current situation, shouldn't we seize every opportunity? Qi Yu argued. Presumptuous, what does a junior know? Leave quickly. Qijin Shan scolded. I think this seal can be broken. Suddenly, Lu Ming's voice came out, causing the scene to go silent. Everyone's gaze turned towards Lu Ming. Really? Qi Yu's eyes revealed a look of ecstasy. Of course. Lu Ming nodded his head. Boasting shamelessly, brat, what are your intentions? You want to destroy my Red Leopard tribe's forbidden area? I suspect you're using some evil technique to control Qi Yu. You have evil intentions, men. Kill this brat for me. Qijin Shan's face was extremely gloomy. Killing intent burst out as he shouted. The guards at the valley entrance waved their hands, and cheetah puppets appeared on the ground. All of them were Sea of Spirit Realm puppets. The puppets roared, and were about to pounce towards Lu Ming. Who dares? Qi Yu shouted, blocking in front of Lu Ming, at the same time summoning her cheetah puppet. Miss Chiyu is already being controlled by this evil person, she can't do anything. Quickly, kill that brat and save Miss. Qi Jinshan roared. Kill that brat for me. Qi Feng also roared, killing intent bursting out. Lu Ming's face was gloomy. With a wave of his hand, the giant wolf puppet appeared, blocking in front of him. It stepped on the ground, waving its hands, and lines of inscriptions appeared on the ground. A great battle was about to break out. Stop, what are you doing? At this moment, a loud roar came out. A white-haired old man riding a cheetah puppet flew over. Second uncle. Red Moon was overjoyed. The white-haired elder descended and swept his gaze across the scene. His face was gloomy as he said, "What exactly is going on?" Second brother, that brat is controlling you. He has ulterior motives. I was just about to kill him. Qi Jinshan hurriedly said. Nonsense. Second uncle, Lu Ming is an inscription master from the outside world. He can break the seal of the canyon, so I brought him here. I didn't think that sixth uncle would want to kill Lu Ming. Qi Yu argued. What? He can break the seal of the canyon? The white-haired elder's face was filled with shock, and his eyes shone brightly. Due to his excitement, a layer of blue spiritual fire appeared above his head, and a vast amount of spiritual energy filled the entire area. Don't be fooled by this person. He is just a heaven-level inscription master and he is so young. How many inscriptions can he master? How can he break this seal? This is utter nonsense. Qi Jinshan said coldly. Second uncle, why don't we let Lu Ming give it a try? What if it works? This is related to the rise and fall of our clan. Please reconsider, second uncle. Qi Yu said loudly. Qi Yu's second uncle was called Qi Jintian. At this time, he looked at Lu Ming with a glimmer of hope in his eyes. He said, "Young man, can you really break the seal here?" Lu Ming nodded and said, "I have observed it just now. There are 3 different inscriptions in it. The inscription formations are intertwined. There should be more than 100 inscription formations. Although it is mysterious, it is not difficult to break it after 60 years. Lu Ming's words made Qi Yu and Qi Jintian's eyes shine brightly, but Qi Jinshan's face became gloomier. This is a serious matter. I need to inform the patriarch and the elders. Qi Jintian took out a voice-transmitting jade charm and sent a few messages. Then he waited. Qi Jinshan knew that he could not stop it, so he walked aside with a gloomy face. Lu Ming glanced at Qi Jinshan, and his eyes flickered a few times. Qi Jinshan was very strange. He desperately tried to stop him from breaking the seal. As Qi Yu said, this was related to the rise and fall of the Red Leopard tribe. Even if there was a 1 in a million chance, he had to give it a try. But Qi Jinshan kept stopping him. It was impossible to say that it was because of Qi Feng. When he did not mention breaking the seal, Qi Jinshan was still normal. It seemed that he had the intention to break it. So all this made Lu Ming feel very strange. In just a few minutes, the wind whistled, and 7 or 8 giant cheetah puppets flew over. There were 8 cheetah puppets in total, and each of them had a person standing on it. One of them was in his 50s and emitted a majestic aura. Lu Ming guessed that he might be Qi Yu's father, the patriarch of the Red Leopard tribe, Qi Jinkong. The other 7 were white-haired old men. They should be the elders of the Red Leopard tribe. Greetings to the patriarch and elders. Qi Jintian, Qi Jinshan and the guards all saluted together. Father, elders of the tribe. Qi Yu also came forward and saluted. Qi Jinkong's eyes were like lightning. He looked at Lu Ming and said, is he the person you mentioned who can break the seal? Although Qi Jinkong pretended to be calm, he still showed a trace of excitement. His father. Lu Ming is from outside the earth. He is the most powerful inscriber there. Although he is at the peak of the heaven level, his mind power is as strong as the immortal level. Qi Yu came forward and held Qi Jinkong's arm with a smile. The most talented inscriber there is? Qi Jinkong and the 7 elders' eyes lit up. Lu Ming touched his nose and smiled bitterly. This girl was too good at bragging. I think you've been fooled by him. According to the ancient legends, the world outside the earth is boundless. It is countless times bigger than here. There are countless people like sand. How can he be the most talented inscriber? He must be bragging on purpose to deceive you that he is young. Patriarch, elders, you must not believe this person. If something goes wrong and causes the formation to explode, it will destroy the body of the previous patriarch and the inscription manual. Then our red leopard tribe will really be finished. Qi Jinshan jumped out to stop them. Sixth uncle, you haven't seen Lu Ming fight. How do you know that his inscribing way is not strong? Qi Yu said stubbornly. In that case, why don't we let him show us? If he wants to have mind power comparable to a immortal level inscriber at the heaven level, he needs to light up at least 7 or even 8 spirit lamps at each level. Let him show us his spirit rings. Qi Jinshan sneered. The immortal level inscriber he was talking about was of course a real inscriber. At each level he needed to light up at least 6 spirit lamps, which was already very difficult. He didn't believe that Lu Ming could light up 7 or even 8 spirit lamps at each level. Humph, Lu Ming, show us your spirit rings. Chapter 705. Qi Jin Kong, the 7 elders and Qi Jin Tian turned to look at Lu Ming. Lu Ming shook his head in his heart. He had helped the Red Leopard tribe, but Qi Jinshan had stopped him. Given his character, he would have left long ago. The reason why he stayed was firstly because of Qi Yu. Secondly, at this point, if he turned around and left, he would definitely not be valued by the Red Leopard tribe. He still wanted to make use of the Red Leopard tribe's strength to inquire about Xian Yanqing's whereabouts. Since you want to see, open your eyes and watch carefully. Lu Ming's gaze swept toward the Qijin mountain. Buzz. At the same time, a red ring appeared above Lu Ming's head. There were 10 points on the ring, which were as dazzling as stars. 10 spirit lamps. He has lit 10 spirit lamps in the first stage. Qi Jin Kong, the 7 elders, and the rest of the crowd were astounded. Some of the elders even yelled out in shock. Qi Jinshan's eyes almost popped out. He opened his mouth so wide that he could swallow a dead mouse. He stared at Lu Ming in a daze. Lu Ming had lit 10 spirit lamps in the first stage and reached the perfect stage. Ha, I knew it. Lu Ming's talent is the best in the outer world. After Qi Yu recovered from his initial shock, he laughed heartily. Humph, it's only the first stage. Maybe he was lucky enough to obtain a powerful flame. That's why he could light up 10 spirit lamps in the first stage. There have been such cases in history. However, the later stages, the harder it is to light up the spirit lamps. Let's see how many he can light up later. Qi Jinshan said with a gloomy face. Father is right. Qi Feng chimed in. Oh, is that so? Then open your dog eyes wide and take a good look. There was a sneer at the corners of Lu Ming's lips. Immediately after, there was another flash of light above his head. This time, 2 rings appeared consecutively. One was orange and the other was yellow. The 2 rings were the same as the first one. They both had 10 bright spots, dazzling and mesmerizing. Everyone was stunned. Their eyes were wide open, and they were extremely shocked. The first 3 stages were all perfect, with 10 spirit lamps lit. This was simply too shocking. Qi Jinshan's face flushed red. Qi Feng was dumbfounded. Didn't they want to see it? As for Lu Ming, he would let him take a good look. Let's continue watching. The cold smile at the corner of Lu Ming's mouth deepened. In the next moment, 2 more rings appeared above his head. There were 2 rings, one green and one blue. On top of each ring, there were 10 bright spots. 5 rings stacked on top of each other. The 50 bright spots almost blinded Qi Jinshan's eyes. Perfect, all perfect. All 5 stages are perfect. Oh my God, what am I seeing? A miracle, a genius. This is the strongest genius this old man has ever seen. Yu was right, he is the #1 genius in the outer world. Several elders who were hundreds of years old could no longer control their emotions. They shouted one after another, their faces flushed with excitement. Qi Yu's mouth formed an O shape. She stood there in a daze. After a while, her eyes lit up. As for Qi Jinshan and Qi Feng, it was as if they had seen a ghost. They looked at Lu Ming, unable to say a word. Their lips were trembling non-stop, lighting 10 spirit lamps in all 5 stages. This was simply a legend. In their world, they had never heard of such a genius. There was even a rumor in this world that 9 was the limit. It was impossible to be perfect. In other words, lighting 9 spirit lamps was the limit. Perfection was just a legend. It was a realm that was expected. But now, it had appeared in front of a young man in his 20s. My current mental strength should be enough, right? Lu Ming's gaze continued to fall on Qi Jinshan. Qi Jinshan's expression changed. He did not say a word. He could not speak. Good. Little brother Lu is indeed the #1 genius in the outer world. I believe that little brother Lu will be able to break the seal. Qi Jinkong laughed with excitement in his eyes. That's right. Little brother, please come forward and check those inscription arrays to see how to break them. A white-haired elder said excitedly. Except for Qi Jinkong and Qi Feng, everyone looked at Lu Ming expectantly. Perhaps Lu Ming could really do it. But Lu Ming nodded and walked forward. He came to the place full of inscriptions and looked at it carefully. Dandan, can you really break it? Lu Ming transmitted a message to Dandan. The seal here was made up of 3 different arrays. There were more than 100 of them. The 3 arrays were intertwined with each other. Moreover, they were all extremely advanced level 6 inscription arrays. The chiefs of the Sky Wolf tribe, the Shadow Snake tribe, and the Blood Tiger tribe who had set up the arrays were all level 6 inscriptionists. To be honest, with Lu Ming's current attainment in the path of inscription, it was still difficult for him to break it. The reason why he agreed was that Dandan had transmitted a message to him that it could break it. Nonsense. Don't you know who I am? I'm the head of the top 10 battle beasts. I've lived for countless years. I know astronomy and yin and yang. How can a mere level 6 inscription array be difficult for me? Dandan began to boast again. Of course, it transmitted a message and no one could hear it. Lu Ming was used to Dandan's boasting. He directly ignored Dandan's boasting and said, "Oh, how can I break it?" Boy, listen to me. Start with the vertical 18 inscriptions of Raging Flame, then the horizontal 7 inscriptions of Explosion. Dandan began to guide him. Blue flames spread out between Lu Ming's fingers and engraved in the air. Inscriptions appeared in different directions and flew into the ground at the entrance of the canyon. Everyone in the Red Leopard tribe widened their eyes and stared at it. Suddenly, a wolf howled. An array shone and condensed into a giant wolf, which pounced on Lu Ming. Everyone's heart skipped a beat. Qi Jinshan's eyes lit up. However, Lu Ming's expression was calm. He allowed the huge wolf to pounce on him. When the huge wolf pounced on Lu Ming, it exploded with a bang, turning into spots of light and dissipating. The first array was broken. The first array is broken. It's really broken. Qi Jinkong and the 7 elders were all overjoyed. Dad, Grandpa, I was right. Lu Ming will definitely be able to do it. Qi Yu said with a smile. Yes, but this seal is made up of 136 arrays. The deeper you go, the harder it is to break. Let's see what happens later. Qi Jinkong said. At the same time, Lu Ming continued to engrave inscriptions. The inscriptions flew into the ground one by one. After a while, a giant blood-red tiger pounced out and then dissipated. The second array was broken. Afterward, Lu Ming's fingers did not stop. He continued to inscribe inscriptions in the air. One array after another was cracked by Lu Ming. Chapter 706. The more excited Qi Jinkong and the others were, the more they looked forward to it. Perhaps it would work this time. God bless. Ancient ancestor bless. They prayed in their hearts. Perhaps the ancient ancestor did not want the Red Leopard tribe to be destroyed, so he sent such a genius. The chosen one. At the same time, Qi Jinkong and the other elders thought of this word. They looked at each other and became more excited and expectant. Phew. At this time, Lu Ming took a deep breath, sat cross-legged on the ground, and closed his eyes. After breaking 18 formations in a row, he did not have enough mind power and needed to recover. We will guard this place. No one is allowed to leave. Qi Jinkong ordered. To prevent any accidents, they would guard this place personally. At this time, Qi Jinshan's face became gloomier and his eyes flashed with a strange light. Qi Feng looked at Lu Ming with jealousy in his eyes. There was nothing else. 3 hours later, Lu Ming got up and continued to crack the formations. However, from this point onwards, the array became more complicated and more difficult. Lu Ming's speed also slowed down a little. This time, Lu Ming spent more than an hour to crack 18 formations. Then he sat cross-legged again and began to recover. A few hours later, Lu Ming got up again with a smile on his face. He found that cracking formations this way could make his mind power purer, and he could also train. He felt that he was getting closer and closer to becoming a 6th-level inscriptionist. Lu Ming continued to crack the formations, but the further he went, the slower he became. On the first day, Lu Ming cracked 50 inscription formations. On the second day, he cracked 30 inscription formations. On the third day, he cracked 20 inscription formations. There were 136 formations in total. Now, there were only 36 formations left. However, Lu Ming stopped when he reached the last 36 seat. He pondered for a while and then walked to Qi Jinkong. Patriarch Qi, the next 36 inscription formations are mainly made by the Yin snake tribe. They are extremely vicious and unstable. If you are not careful, they will explode and destroy this valley. Lu Ming said. Qi Jinkong's expression changed. He asked anxiously, "What should we do then?" "That's easy. Lu Ming needs a favor from clan leader Qi," Lu Ming said. "Brother Lu, please speak. Even if we mobilize the entire Red Leopard tribe, it won't be a problem." Qi Jinkong's tone was firm. "It's not that serious. I just need some materials. I have a material here called Crimson Blood Sand. I need the Patriarch to send someone to refine it." A jade tablet appeared in Lu Ming's hand. It contained the refining method of the Scarlet Blood Sand and the required materials. He handed it over to Qi Jinkong. Qi Jinkong glanced at it and said, "Not a problem, but I'm afraid it'll take me 6 to 7 days to refine it." "Don't worry, Patriarch Qi. Is there a place where poisonous snakes gather nearby? I will personally hunt some poisonous snakes and take their essence blood to refine another material. Only by combining these two materials can we break the last 36 formations." Lu Ming said. "A place where venomous snakes gather? To the west of the Red Leopard tribe, there's 1,000 Snakes Valley. There are a large number of poisonous snakes there, but that's already the territory of the Shadow Snake tribe." Qi Jinkong said. "Don't worry, I just need to sneak there and hunt some poisonous snakes." Lu Ming smiled. "That's great. Brother Lu, you've been working hard for the past few days to break the formations. Let's take a rest at the Red Leopard tribe and then prepare the materials." Although Qi Jinkong was quite anxious and excited, he still spoke politely to Lu Ming. Lu Ming was now the hope of the Red Leopard tribe. "Sure." Lu Ming nodded. Qi Jinkong left a few elders to guard the place while he and the rest of the elders brought Lu Ming and Qi Yu to the Red Leopard tribe. "Lu Ming, you haven't been to our tribe, right? Let me show you around. What's it like in the outer world? Your skin is so white and smooth. Also, the clothes you're wearing are strange too." Along the way, Red Moon followed Lu Ming, chattering non-stop and asking a lot of questions. Lu Ming smiled bitterly. He couldn't help but think of a girl, Xian Exen. At that time, Xian Exen was also very curious. She kept asking about it non-stop. Lu Ming explained casually. Soon, they arrived at the ancient city. It was a stone city. The buildings inside were all made of stone. The stone city was bustling with people. It was different from the cities Lu Ming had seen before. It was full of exotic charm. When he arrived, Lu Ming's heart suddenly stirred. He asked, "Clan leader Qi, during this period of time, did anyone from the outside world like me come here?" "Yes, there are about 100 people. They're all living in the main hall in the west. We didn't restrict their movements." Qi Jinkong explained. "Can you show me?" Lu Ming asked. He wanted to see if there were any familiar faces. Maybe Xian Yanqing was here too? Of course. I'll go back and order people to prepare the red blood sand. Third uncle, you bring little brother Lu to the main hall in the west. Qi Jin Kong instructed. Yes, father. Qiyu smiled. She was accompanied by a white-haired old man. They led Lu Ming to the main hall in the west. Along the way, many people looked at Lu Ming curiously. During this period of time, many people from beyond the earth had come. The news had spread like wildfire, and they were all very curious. There was a huge stone hall in the west. There were many stone houses in it. During this period, there were more than 100 people living here. They were all from the chaotic astral ocean. Zhong Yuan was in a bad mood during this period. He was the sect leader of the blood poison sect. He thought that with the key to the martial emperor's treasure, he would get a great opportunity. The blood poison sect would soar and he would be able to break through and reach the supreme realm. He didn't expect that all his plans would be ruined by Lu Ming, causing countless people to rush into the martial emperor's treasure. Not only that, after entering the martial emperor's treasure, he didn't get anything. Instead, he was chased everywhere. In the end, he had no choice but to follow the people of the Red Leopard tribe to the Red Leopard tribe. At this moment, he was sitting in the courtyard with two experts in the third layer of the spiritual sea realm. They were drinking and chatting. Brother Zhong, according to my speculation, the Saint Mountain in the underground world is very likely to be related to the martial emperor's treasure. This time we have to work together. An old man in the third layer of the spiritual sea realm said, That's right, and I speculate that there should be a way out of the Saint Mountain. At that time, we can leave this damn place. The other martial artist in the third layer of the spiritual sea realm said, I hope so. Zhong Yuan drank a cup of wine. His eyes flickered as he thought about something. At this moment, the door opened. Lu Ming and the others walked in. The people in the courtyard also looked at the door. Chapter 707. Upon hearing the voice, Lu Ming looked in the direction of the voice. There was a strong murderous intent in his eyes. Blood poison sect leader. A cold voice came from Lu Ming's mouth. The white-haired old man in front of him was the blood poison sect leader, the one who injured him and wanted to steal his jade sword. He didn't expect to meet him here. Ah, little bastard, I said before that if I meet you, I'll kill you. Your luck is really bad to meet me here. Let's see how you'll die this time. Zhong Yuan laughed loudly and stood up from the table, emitting a terrifying aura. A fourth-layer spiritual ocean tier martial artist was too strong, much stronger than a third-layer spiritual ocean tier martial artist. His aura was like a vast ocean, suppressing Lu Ming. Don't. Zhong Yuan stepped forward, causing the ground to rumble with every step he took. What do you want? Qiyu stepped forward, blocking Lu Ming. Her face turned cold as she glared at Zhong Yuan. So it's Miss Qiyu. Miss Qiyu, please step aside. This person has a grudge with me, and I'll kill him. Zhong Yuan said coldly. No, this is the Red Leopard tribe. Fighting is not allowed. Qiyu said coldly. Miss Qiyu, you'd better step aside. This time, I agreed to go to the sacred mountain and participate in the test. But if I don't kill this person, don't blame me for not doing my best during the test. Zhong Yuan sneered. Anyone could hear that this was a threat. Among the 100 or so outsiders who came to the Red Leopard tribe, Zhong Yuan was the strongest, at the fourth-layer spiritual ocean tier. He was the most promising participant in the Red Leopard tribe's test. These few days, the people of the Red Leopard tribe were all polite to him, treating him as an honored guest. Naturally, he had the confidence. I want him to die. At this moment, Lu Ming spoke. Hearing Lu Ming's words, Zhong Yuan was stunned for a moment, then laughed loudly. The other two third-layer spiritual ocean tier elders also laughed. This kid is a peak king. Has he lost his mind? He actually wants Brother Zhong to die. Where did he get his confidence from? Did he say that to Miss Qiyu and the others? That's even more ridiculous. Does he think he's more important than Brother Zhong? Young people can't recognize themselves. How pitiful, how sad. The two old men in the third layer of the spiritual ocean tier laughed loudly, full of mockery. But in the next moment, their smiles froze. because Qiyu looked at Lu Ming and asked, "Are you serious?" "I must kill him." Lu Ming was resolute and decisive. "All right, if little brother Lu wants to kill him, I'll do it." At the side, the red leopard elder spoke. With a wave of his hand, a gigantic leopard puppet appeared, emitting a terrifying aura. 7th level of Sea of Souls realm. This cheetah had the aura of a 7th level Sea of Souls realm warrior. That kind of aura was so powerful that it made people's hearts palpitate and despair. Zhong Yuan was completely dumbfounded. He looked at the red leopard elder with a pale face and screamed, "What are you doing? This kid is only a martial king. I'm many times stronger than him. I have a chance at the Sacred Mountain trial. You should kill him, kill him. Little brother Lu is the benefactor of my red leopard tribe." What did he say? "My red leopard tribe will do our best to satisfy him. Whoever he wants to kill will kill. Now die." The red leopard elder shouted coldly. The cheetah puppet roared and pounced at Zhong Yuan at an unimaginable speed. "No, no, how can this be? I can't accept this." Zhong Yuan roared hysterically, resisting with all his might. But the difference between a puppet in the 4th layer of the spiritual ocean tier and a puppet in the 7th layer was too great. The cheetah puppet clawed out, tearing apart all of Zhong Yuan's defenses and attacks. Then, it tore his body into 2 halves. The blood poison sect master, an almighty in the 4th layer of the spiritual ocean tier, an expert whose might shook the chaotic astral ocean, was full of ambition, and died just like that. He died with incomparable grievance. He didn't even know why he died. Why did the red leopard tribe listen to Lu Ming's every word? The 2 old men in the 3rd layer of the spiritual ocean tier watched this scene dumbfoundedly, almost biting off their own tongues. Then, they trembled as they looked at Lu Ming, cold sweat dripping down their backs. The red leopard tribe actually listened to Lu Ming's every word. Lu Ming's one word, and an elder of the red leopard tribe attacked, killing Zhong Yuan in one move. What was going on? They'd both lived for more than 1,000 years, but now, they found that their brains couldn't process the situation at all. Lu Ming strode forward, reached out his hand, and grabbed Zhong Yuan's storage ring in his hand. He also swallowed Zhong Yuan's blood essence while he was at it. Then, he looked at the 2 old men in the spiritual ocean tier and said coldly, "You've lived for more than 1,000 years, but can't even understand the situation. Pitiful, lamentable." The 2 old men's faces were flushed red, unable to show their faces. These were the words they'd said to Lu Ming just now, but how long had it been, and Lu Ming had returned the exact same words to them. Every word was like a slap to their faces. Lu Ming ignored them. Under Qiyu's lead, he checked the place. Unfortunately, Xian Yanqing wasn't here, and neither was Kenfei Ryu. "Miss Qiyu, I need a room. I need to go into seclusion for a while," Lu Ming said. Zhong Yuan was in the 4th layer of the spiritual ocean tier, and his blood essence was too strong. He needed to go into seclusion to refine it. No problem. Qiyu brought Lu Ming to the core area of the red leopard tribe and arranged a room for him. Lu Ming entered the room and entered the Temple of Paragon, beginning to refine the blood essence. He used all of his blood essence to improve the Suppressing Prison Monument bloodline. The stronger the Suppressing Prison Monument bloodline, the more powerful the Suppressing Prison Heaven skill would be. The 9th silver chakra became brighter and brighter, and finally, like the other 9 chakras, it shone brightly. The peak of the 9th grade king stage. However, at the peak of the 9th level king level, it was too difficult to attain divine level bloodline. After Lu Ming refined all of Zhong Yuan's blood essence, he had a feeling that he was still a long way from attaining divine level. He didn't know how much more blood essence he needed to reach the divine grade. Half a day had passed, and Lu Ming walked out of the room. "Lu Ming, you're done with your seclusion?" Lu Ming saw Qiyu as soon as he came out. Lu Ming nodded and said, "You've been waiting for me?" "Not really. I just arrived. Do you want to walk around?" Qiyu said. "No, I'll go to the 1,000 Snake Valley to hunt poisonous snakes." "How do I get there?" Lu Ming shook his head and said, "I'll take you there. That's the Shadow Snake Tribe's territory. If there are too many people, it'll attract their attention. How about just the two of us go? Qiyu said. Alright. Lu Ming nodded. The two of them left the Stone City and headed west. The Thousand Snake Valley was 30,000 miles west of the Red Leopard tribe. This was the Shadow Snake tribe's territory. It was said that this was the Red Leopard tribe's territory a few decades ago. Later, the Red Leopard tribe lost a large area of land, and the Thousand Snake Valley fell into the hands of the Shadow Snake tribe. The two of them rode on the puppet and arrived in less than half a day. Chapter 708. The vast mountains stretched as far as the eye could see. Between the vast mountains, there was a huge valley. The valley was about 100 miles long, and it was quiet all around. This was the 10,000 Snakes Valley. There were all kinds of poisonous snakes in the valley, tens of thousands of them. Other demonic beasts did not dare to come close to this place, so it was very quiet. The wind whistled as Lu Ming and Qiyu descended from the sky on the cheetah puppet and landed at the entrance of the 10,000 Snakes Valley. The two of them put away the puppet and walked into the 10,000 Snakes Valley. Swoosh, swoosh. Before they had gone far, a black venomous snake shot towards the two of them like a bolt of black lightning. Bang! Qiyu lightly stepped on the ground, and inscriptions appeared on the ground, forming a large inscription array. Dozens of arrows shot out from the inscription array and shot towards the black figures. With a light sound, those black snakes were accurately shot and were sent flying in all directions. The two of them continued forward. The valley was very wide, at least 10 miles long. It was covered with dense weeds, all kinds of old vines, low ancient trees, and piles of rocks. In some places, there were even swamps that were full of stench. Such an environment was most suitable for poisonous snakes to breed. As they moved forward, they encountered many poisonous snakes. However, these poisonous snakes were all below LV5, which was equivalent to the martial ancestor realm. Whether it was Lu Ming or Qiyu, they were easily dealt with. Moreover, the blood essence of these poisonous snakes was useless. Lu Ming needed the blood essence of martial king-level poisonous snakes. When the two of them walked for more than 20 miles, the level of the poisonous snakes began to increase. Hiss hiss, a colorful poisonous snake slithered towards Lu Ming. The snake's forked tongue stretched out, and wisps of poisonous fog filled the air. King-level poisonous snake, I finally see one. A smile appeared on Lu Ming's face. He stepped forward and stretched out his hand. This poisonous snake did not have the slightest strength to resist and was caught in Lu Ming's hand. With a jolt of his true essence, the poisonous snake turned into ashes at a speed visible to the naked eye. In Lu Ming's palm, there were only 9 drops of blood essence rolling around each other like blood-red pearls. Swoosh, swoosh. Then, Lu Ming suspended the 9 drops of blood essence in the air. His hands quickly inscribed inscriptions into the 9 drops of blood essence. After a while, the 9 drops of blood essence exploded with a bang, turning into a cloud of blood mist that filled the air. It's done! Lu Ming smiled faintly. He then took out a jade bottle and absorbed all the blood mist into the jade bottle. He wanted to use the snake's blood essence to refine the blood mist and use it together with the crimson blood sand to break the last 36 formations. This was also the reason why his inscription level was not high enough. If he had become a level 6 inscription master and mastered some level 6 inscriptions and level 6 arrays, he would not have needed to use these materials to break the 36 arrays. 60 to 70,000 li away from the 10,000 Snake Valley was another large tribe, the Een Snake tribe. The Shadow Snake tribe was very powerful. In the past few decades, they had annexed many of the Red Leopard tribe's territories. Their strength had increased rapidly. The Red Leopard tribe could not be compared to them. In the ancient city of the Shadow Snake tribe, Xian Yanqing looked into the distance from a pavilion made of huge rocks. Her eyebrows were tightly knitted. She didn't come to the Shadow Snake tribe of her own accord. She was captured. Now, on her wrists and ankles, there was a ring. This ring was like a snake coiled around her body, and there were complex inscriptions carved on it. This ring had the power to seal. It sealed Xian Yanqing's true qi and even her inscription flame. She could not use any of her cultivation. Otherwise, she would have escaped long ago. The door of the room was opened. A young man walked in. This young man was tall and slender. He was handsome, but his eyes were long and narrow. He gave people a very gloomy feeling. As soon as he walked in, the young man's gaze wandered around Xian Yanqing's body. Traces of burning flames flashed in his eyes. It was a strong desire to possess her. "What are you doing here again?" Xian Yanqing frowned. "Miss Xie, what do you think? Marry me. I won't let you lose out." The young man smiled slightly. It seemed even more gloomy. "Get lost." Xian Yanqing shouted coldly. She was not polite at all. The young man's face turned cold. He said, "Miss Xie, don't forget where you are. I'm trying to persuade you. Don't refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. Get lost." Xian Yanqing's reply was still one word. "Good, good, very good. Let's wait and see." In the young man's eyes, evil flames flashed. They wandered around Xian Yanqing's body a few times. Then he strode away. "This bitch, I want you to kneel in front of me and beg me this morning." The young man's heart was burning with anger. Who was he? The son of the Shadow Snake Tribe's patriarch, the future successor of the Shadow Snake Tribe in Quebec. He had great talent. What couldn't he get? But a few days ago, when he saw Xian Yanqing, he was stunned. Xian Yanqing was too beautiful. Moreover, she was completely different from the women in the underground world. Most of the women in the underground world were more boorish. Their skin was bronze and slightly rough. But Xian Yanqing had jade-like skin and a graceful figure. He was immediately attracted. He captured Xian Yanqing and wanted to make Xian Yanqing his 18th concubine. But with Xian Yanqing's character, the result was obvious. How could she agree? Yin Ke walked in the courtyard with a gloomy face. "Young master, what's wrong? That woman hasn't agreed?" A skinny old man walked up and asked. "That's right. This bitch not only didn't agree, but also told me to get lost." "Old Kue, what can you do?" Yin Ke asked. "Young master, since she doesn't want to do it the hard way, then let's do it the hard way. What's done can't be undone." The skinny old man sneered. "Old Kue, I also thought about it. But even if her true yuan and spirit fire are sealed, her physical strength is still very strong. I'm afraid that if we use force, she will commit suicide. Otherwise, I would have done it long ago." Yin Ke said. Whenever he thought of Xian Yanqing's graceful figure, an evil fire would burn in his body. "Young master, this is easy. Right now is the breeding season for poisonous snakes. In the Thousand Snake Valley, the Snake Desires flower is in full bloom. The fragrance of the Snake Desires flower has no effect on those who have true yuan or spiritual fire. However, if one does not have true yuan or spiritual fire to protect their body, the moment they smell the fragrance of the Snake Desires flower, their entire body will go limp and they will lose all strength. At that time, young master will be able to do whatever you want." The skinny old man smiled sinisterly. Yin Ke's eyes lit up. Then he laughed and said, "Old Kue is indeed resourceful. All right, let's do it this way. Old Kue, take a few people with you and use the excuse of going hunting to relax. Take that bitch and follow me to the Thousand Snake Valley. This time, I want to make that bitch wish she was dead." "All right, I'll do it right away." Old Kue bowed. Chapter 709. Xian Yanqing didn't want to go at first, but the other party welcomed her with a smile and said that he was only taking her hunting to relieve her boredom. Xian Yanqing couldn't refuse. If she refused, she was afraid that the other party would use force. Not long after, they arrived at the Thousand Snake Valley. The 9 of them walked in. In the beginning, they were indeed hunting poisonous snakes to concoct some medicine. Soon, they were more than 30 miles away from the valley. "You guys hunt poisonous snakes in this area. I'll bring Miss Xian Yanqing to the front to take a look." Yin Ke instructed. "All right, young master. You guys go ahead." Elder Kue said with a smile. There was a hint of eeriness in his smile. "Miss Xie, let's continue forward." Yin Ke said to Xian Yanqing. Xian Yanqing frowned. She had a bad feeling in her heart, But given the current situation, she could only agree. She made up her mind that if Yin Ke had any ill intentions toward her, she would rather die than let him have his way. Xian Yanqing nodded and followed Yin Ke into the valley. Soon, the two of them walked another 5 or 6 miles. This place was filled with red flowers. These flowers were very strange. They were in the shape of snakes, like small snakes. Furthermore, they emitted an intoxicating fragrance. It was very pleasant to the smell. Along the way, Yin Ke didn't do anything strange. Xian Yanqing gradually relaxed and walked slowly. However, Xian Yanqing gradually felt that something was wrong. She felt her body getting weaker and weaker. She was smart. She suddenly thought of something and her face turned pale. She ran a few steps forward and said, "Yin Ke, what did you do to me? Did you use poison on me?" When Yin Ke saw that Xian Yanqing's body was indeed weak, he laughed sinisterly and said, "I didn't poison you, but this place is full of snake desire flowers. The pollen of snake desire flowers is equivalent to poison for people who can't use spiritual flame and spiritual origin. Anyone who smells it will feel weak all over." Yin Ke laughed. What are you trying to do?" Xian Yanqing kept retreating. She felt more and more weak. What are you doing? Bitch, I don't care what status you have outside the underworld. Here, you better behave yourself. I want to marry you as a concubine because I think highly of you. You actually rejected me time and time again and even dared to scold me. Now, I'll let you know the consequences of rejecting me. Evil flames danced in Yin Ke's eyes as his gaze wandered around Xian Yanqing's body. The flames in his eyes grew stronger and stronger. "In your dreams!" Xian Yanqing shouted. Her spine suddenly emitted a red glow. Immediately after, her body dashed forward, rushing towards the depths of the 10,000 Snakes Valley. "Damn it!" Yin Ke angrily shouted. He hadn't expected that Xian Yanqing's Zhenyuan and spiritual fire would be sealed, but he was still able to display such a strange power. In a moment of carelessness, Xian Yanqing had run 100 meters away. Immediately, he chased after her with extreme speed. Xian Yanqing's Zhenyuan and spiritual fire were sealed. Her body was special, so she could borrow some of the power of her bloodline. However, it wasn't much. Before she could run a mile, the power of her bloodline dissipated. She felt her body grow weaker and weaker. She staggered and almost fell to the ground. Yin Ke chased after her from behind. Let's see where you can run to. Wait a moment, I'll serve you well." After running for a while, Xian Yanqing was drenched in sweat. Her thin clothes were wet, causing them to stick tightly to her body. Her curves were even more soul-stirring. Yin Ke's evil flames erupted. His entire body was hot and he couldn't help but swallow his saliva. Xian Yanqing's eyes revealed a trace of despair. She touched her waist and a small dagger appeared in her hand. She pressed it against her chest and looked at Yin Ke resolutely. "If you want to use force, I'll die." Yin Ke stopped in his tracks. His face was gloomy as he coldly said, "I don't believe that you'll throw away your life." After saying that, he strode forward. "Lu Ming, you idiot. Where are you? Perhaps we won't be able to meet again." Xian Yanqing closed her eyes and stabbed the dagger in her hand into her chest. In the depths of the 1,000 Snake Valley, Lu Ming took out a jade bottle and collected a cloud of blood mist. Then he frowned. He didn't know why, but he had been feeling uneasy since just now. An inexplicable feeling of irritation appeared in his heart. This was somewhat inconceivable. At Lu Ming's current level, his martial heart was stable. Ordinary things wouldn't make Lu Ming feel irritable. However, he had been feeling inexplicably irritable since just now. He didn't know why. "Kid, what's wrong with you? You're not in the right state." Dandan saw Lu Ming's state. "I don't know why, but I've been feeling inexplicably irritable since just now. I keep feeling uneasy." Lu Ming said. "Inexplicably irritable and uneasy? The deeper a martial artist's cultivation base is, the more they'll be connected to the laws of the unseen world. Therefore, any emotion won't be born without a reason. Something must be happening." Dandan said. Lu Ming nodded. In ancient times, there were some supreme experts who could even foresee some parts of the future. It was mysterious and unfathomable. Wait a moment. Dandan closed its eyes and waved its pair of front claws. Inscriptions were produced. After a while, Dandan suddenly opened its eyes and said anxiously, "Not good, kid. Your little lover is in danger." What? Lu Ming was stunned, but he immediately reacted. Dandan was talking about Xian Yanqing. "Little Qing, what's wrong with her? Where is she?" Lu Ming asked hurriedly. "Just a few miles away. Go quickly. It'll be too late if you don't," Dandan shouted. Without the slightest hesitation, Lu Ming burst out. His figure was like a bolt of lightning as he rushed out of the myriad snakes. Qi Yu's eyes moved. Inscriptions appeared on her body and formed a pair of wings. With a flap, she turned into a phantom and followed. Under Lu Ming's full strength, a few miles of distance only took a few breaths. When Lu Ming arrived, he was just in time to see Xian Yanqing's dagger stabbing at her heart. Blood flowed out. It was a shocking sight. Boom. At this moment, it was as if thunder had exploded in Lu Ming's mind. With just a glance at such a scene, he roughly knew what was going on. "Little Qing!" Lu Ming roared. His figure pounced at Xian Yanqing like a bolt of lightning. His true essence rolled up and wrapped around Xian Yanqing's arm, preventing her dagger from continuing to stab. However, Lu Ming was still a little slower. Xian Yanqing's dagger had already pierced through his flesh. A part of it had already pierced his heart. Fortunately, it wasn't too deep. Lu Ming hugged Xian Yanqing's slender waist. His true essence crazily poured into Xian Yanqing's body to protect Xian Yanqing's heart. "Fool, you're here. I thought I'd never see you again." Xian Yanqing blinked her big eyes and stared at Lu Ming in a daze. She was afraid that all this was a dream. "Don't speak," Lu Ming said. His true essence continued to pour in. His true essence was the battle dragon true essence. It had a strong vitality and successfully sealed Xian Yanqing's heart. At the same time, Xian Yanqing's wound was slowly healing. Chapter 710. Lu Ming's appearance stunned In Quebec. Seeing how close Xian Yanqing and Lu Ming were, In K's eyes were filled with jealousy. He shouted coldly, "Kid, who are you?" "She's my woman. Get out of my way." At this moment, Qi Yu arrived. "Qi Yu, it's you? How dare you trespass into the In Snake tribe's territory? You're courting death." In K's eyes were filled with murderous intent when he saw Qi Yu. "In K." Qi Yu's face darkened when he saw In Quebec. Lu Ming raised his head and looked at In Quebec. A violent murderous intent erupted from his body. A cold voice came from Lu Ming's mouth. "Today, you must die." "Ha, kid, you want to kill me? Brat, just because you dare to hug my woman, I will definitely make you beg for death." In K sneered. "Kill." Lu Ming waved his hand and a giant wolf puppet appeared, pouncing towards In Quebec, 4th level divine realm puppet. In K's face changed slightly. He waved his hand and a giant snake puppet appeared. It was also a 4th level spiritual ocean puppet. The two puppets collided with one another and fought fiercely. "Kill." Lu Ming held Xian Yanqing with one hand and took a big step forward. A terrifying fist aura exploded forward. Wherever the fist aura passed, the valley shook. As the fist aura passed by, the old vines around the valley exploded and some poisonous snakes turned into powder. In K's face changed. A scroll appeared in his hand. After he opened it, a light shield appeared and covered In Quebec. On the light shield, there were a few poisonous snakes swimming around. Boom! The fist aura landed on the light shield. The light shield kept shaking, but it wasn't broken. Instead, it sent In K flying. "Damika?" In K landed on the ground and took out another scroll. As soon as he opened it, a giant snake that was dozens of meters long flew out and pounced towards Lu Ming. The infinite dragon spear appeared in his hand, and with a thrust, a three-colored true dragon flew out and clashed with the giant snake. However, the tricolored true dragon was actually smashed apart by the giant snake and continued to fly towards Lu Ming. Lu Ming's expression changed slightly. This was obviously Lu Ji's inscription scroll. Its power was equivalent to the attack power of the fourth layer of the spiritual C tier. Qiyu controlled the cheetah puppet and pounced forward, colliding with the giant snake. Bush, bush. The sound of something flying through the air rang out. Old Kuei had arrived with the other 6 people. Elder Kuei, kill that brat. Capture Qiyu and that little bitch alive. In-Kei shouted. Buzz. Above Elder Kuei's and the others' heads, powerful spiritual energy spread out and formed a terrifying spiritual energy storm. Giant snake puppets appeared in the air. Not good. That's a Tier 5 divine level inscriber, Lu Ming. Let's leave quickly. Qiyu's expression changed drastically. Elder Kuei was an inscription master equivalent to a 5th level spiritual C realm cultivator. He had lit at least 4 blue spirit lamps. His puppet was also equivalent to a 5th level spiritual C realm cultivator. Qiyu, help me take care of Shaoqing. Today I must kill him. Lu Ming put down Xian Yanqing and pointed his spear at In Quebec. At this moment, Xian Yanqing was already fine and stood behind Lu Ming. Ha, brat, you can't even protect yourself and you still want to kill me? You're really dreaming. I've changed my mind now. Elder Kuei, capture him alive. I want him to suffer a fate worse than death. In-Kei laughed loudly, his expression extremely ferocious. Hiss! Elder Kuei controlled the giant snake puppet and pounced towards Lu Ming. The snake's tongue was like a sword, piercing through the void. Qiyu clenched his teeth and controlled the cheetah puppet to charge forward. However, before he could exchange 2 blows with the giant snake puppet, he was sent flying by the giant snake puppet. In addition, the other 6 people were also extremely powerful. The puppets they controlled were at least at the spiritual C realm. There were even 2 giant snake puppets that were equivalent to a 4th level spiritual C realm cultivator. Qiyu's puppet was entangled by a 4th level spiritual C realm giant snake puppet, while the other giant snake puppets charged towards Lu Ming. Lu Ming's glabella shone, with traces of lightning swimming around. He was prepared to control the thunder cauldron to deliver a fatal blow. Lu Ming controlled the giant wolf puppet to block in front of him. At the same time, he stomped on the ground crazily. Yeah, watch me. Dandan landed on the ground and waved its claws non-stop. Ayo, the gigantic wolf puppet was entangled by a gigantic snake. It kept howling and sparks flew everywhere. That gigantic snake was Old Kuei's puppet, and it was too strong. The gigantic wolf puppet kept exploding, and a series of banging sounds rang out. In the end, the giant wolf puppet was completely destroyed and turned into a pile of scrap metal. Kill! Lu Ming shouted. The inscription array appeared and formed a giant bow. An arrow shot towards In-Kei like a meteor. Watch me! Dandan waved her claws and countless inscriptions appeared. Countless vines appeared and wrapped around the 5 or 6 giant snake puppets, binding them tightly. In-Kei's expression changed. He took out another inscription scroll. After opening it, a battle sword flew out and slashed at Lu Ming's arrow. Kill. Let's use the inscription scroll together and kill that kid. Elder Kuei shouted coldly. An inscription scroll appeared in his hand. The others also had inscription scrolls in their hands. As soon as it was opened, all kinds of attacks poured towards Lu Ming. There were swords, sabers, ice, storms, etc. All of them were equivalent to the spiritual C realm and above. Some of them were even at the 4th layer of the spiritual C realm and above. They were too strong. Lu Ming couldn't block them at all. He would be turned into ashes in an instant. Lu Ming! Xian Yanqing and Qiyu exclaimed. Die! Lu Ming's eyes were cold. Suddenly, a bright light spread out from his eyebrows. A giant cauldron flew out and lightning filled the air. The moment the cauldron flew out, Lu Ming's true origin was instantly absorbed. Even his life essence was sucked away. Using it once would cost him 50 years of life. But Lu Ming didn't care. Today he must kill In Quebec. The thunder cauldron grew rapidly. Its terrifying power was vast and mighty as if it could destroy the heavens and the earth. At this moment, everyone felt the fear of facing the heavens. Retreat! Retreat! Elder Kuei's pupils shrank rapidly as he frantically retreated. Not only him, but everyone else frantically retreated. At the same time, the inscription scrolls appeared and a light screen enveloped their bodies. Especially in Quebec. He opened the inscription scrolls as if they were free. At least 7 light screens enveloped his body. Boom! The thunder cauldron descended and pressed down. Endless power of lightning descended, destroying all life. Except for Elder Kuei and In Kei, the other 6 died tragically. They were turned into ashes under the thunder cauldron. As for Elder Kuei and In Kei, they were like withered leaves in the wind, constantly fluttering. The light screen on In Kei's body was constantly destroyed. His face was full of horror and fear, twisted into a ball. Boom! The thunder cauldron fell and rapidly shrank. It flew back into Lu Ming's forehead and disappeared. The 10,000 Snake Valley was charred black. Whether it was the ancient trees, weeds, or poisonous snakes, they were all charred black as if they had experienced a lightning tribulation. Chapter 7:11. Qiyu was dumbfounded. She did not expect that Lu Ming would suddenly summon a large cauldron and kill 6 experts of the Shadow Snake tribe with one strike. Moreover, Elder Kuei and In Kei were heavily injured. She felt like she was in a dream. Lu Ming heaved a long sigh of relief and collapsed to the ground. Now, there was not a trace of true origin left in his body. Even his face was very pale, which was caused by his lifespan being sucked away. Lu Ming, are you all right? Xian Yanqing exclaimed softly and walked over to support Lu Ming. Her eyes were filled with worry. Xian Yanqing's body was strong and her life force was extremely vigorous. Now, the wound on her chest was slowly healing and was no longer a problem. Little Qing, help me over there. I want to kill them. Lu Ming said. Xian Yanqing nodded and helped Lu Ming forward. At this moment, Elder Kuei and In Kei were lying on the ground like mud. They were already half dead. In such a situation, they naturally could not control the puppets. The giant snake puppets were all lying on the ground like statues, motionless. Kid, what are you trying to do? Let me tell you, I'm the young master of the Shadow Snake tribe. My father is the tribe leader of the Shadow Snake tribe. If you dare to kill me, you'll definitely die. In Kei shouted. I said, you'll definitely die today, no matter who you are. You can't change the result. Lu Ming slowly walked forward with Xian Yanqing's help. Above his head, the green mind fire spread out. His body was weak and he could not use true origin. However, he could still use the mind fire. Kid, I advise you to let us go. Just now, I've already sent a message back. If you kill us, you'll have to wait for the Shadow Snake tribe's crazy revenge. At this moment, Elder Kuei sneered and struggled to move his body. A voice transmission jade talisman appeared in his hand. Huh, Elder Kuei, well done. In Kei roared with laughter, then he looked at Lu Ming and shouted, Brat, my father has already received the news. You're dead for sure. Now, if you cripple your own arms and legs and give that bitch to me obediently and serve me, I might spare your lives. Little Qing, I can't move right now. I can't even inscribe inscriptions. I'll leave these 2 to you. Lu Ming spoke to Xian Yanqing as if he hadn't heard Elder Kuei and In Kei's words. Alright. Xian Yanqing helped Lu Ming sit down. Holding the dagger in his hand, he walked towards Elder Kuei first. Bitch, what are you trying to do? In Kei roared. You dare? Elder Kuei roared. Xian Yanqing remained unmoved and strode forward. Qiyu came to Lu Ming's side, wanting to say something but hesitated. Puchi. Xian Yanqing arrived in front of Elder Kuei and swung his dagger. Elder Kuei's head flew far away. Then he walked towards In Quebec. No, don't come over. In Kei was terrified, and his face was filled with fear. He didn't expect that Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing would still dare to kill them after knowing that they had been sent back to the Shadow Snake tribe. Where did they get the courage to do so? One had to know that the Shadow Snake tribe was the strongest tribe in the surrounding area. You should have expected this day. Xian Yanqing's eyes were filled with killing intent. His dagger flashed and Inkei's head fell to the ground. The Shadow Snake tribe was all dead. Lu Ming, we have to leave this place quickly. The experts of the Shadow Snake tribe will be here soon. Qiyu said, all right. Lu Ming nodded. Qiyu put away the intact giant snake puppets, then controlled the cheetah puppet to carry Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing towards the Red Leopard tribe. Lu Ming sat cross-legged on the cheetah puppet's back and continuously circulated the true dragon battle arts to recover his true origin. The side effects of using the Thunder Cauldron were too obvious. He lost all his true origin and felt weak all over. Even if he still had his mental strength, he couldn't even inscribe inscriptions, which was equivalent to being powerless and at the mercy of others. Moreover, after using the Thunder Cauldron this time, he had a rough understanding of its power. The stronger his cultivation, the stronger the power of the Thunder Cauldron after absorbing true origin and essence chi. With his current cultivation, using the Thunder Cauldron should be able to cause a fatal threat to an expert in the 4th layer of the spiritual ocean tier. But he might not be able to kill them. Just now, in the Yin Snake tribe, there were 2 inscriptionists equivalent to the 4th layer of the spiritual ocean tier. The reason why he was able to kill them in one blow was because those inscriptionists used their mental strength to control the puppets, and the puppets were entangled by Dandan's array and couldn't turn back to help. They could only rely on inscription talismans to resist, and their defensive power was naturally greatly reduced, which was why they were killed by Lu Ming in one blow. Under normal circumstances, he could at most heavily injure an expert in the 4th layer of the spiritual ocean tier, but couldn't kill them. As for the 5th layer of the spiritual ocean tier, he could probably only lightly injure them. Of course, if Lu Ming could step into the spiritual ocean tier, his thunder concept and true origin would increase explosively, and the power of controlling the Thunder Cauldron would also increase crazily. I'm so tired. I accumulated so much energy, and it's all used up in one go. Kid, this time, you have to compensate me well. Dandan laid on Lu Ming's shoulder and kept rolling his eyes. In the 10,000 Snake Valley, just a few hours after they left, a gust of wind blew, and a dozen experts rode on giant snake puppets and arrived here. The person in the lead was a middle-aged skinny man with a poisonous snake coiled around his neck. After they arrived, they quickly rushed into the depths of the 10,000 Snake Valley. Soon, an earth-shattering roar was heard. Kid from the outside world, Red Leopard tribe, kill, kill, kill. The voice rolled, containing endless killing intent. Even many of the poisonous snakes in the 10,000 Snake Valley trembled and shrank back into their caves. Lu Ming and the others returned to the Red Leopard tribe, and Lu Ming used all his strength to recover his cultivation. At this time, Lu Ming had already recovered a trace of true origin in his dantian. Then, he took out a large amount of supreme-grade spirit crystals and devoured the energy in them to recover his cultivation. With a trace of true origin, Lu Ming's recovery speed greatly increased. As soon as Qiyu returned to the Red Leopard tribe, he went to find Qi Jinkong to report the situation. What? Lu Ming killed Inkei? In a hall, Qi Jinkong's shocked voice was heard. Yes, father. What should we do now? Qiyu stood in front of Qi Jinkong and asked. Qi Jinkong's face was solemn, and his brows were tightly knitted together. He said, Yin Buhai only has one son, and he has always doted on him. Now that Inkei has been killed, I'm afraid he'll go crazy and seek revenge. Pass down the order to strengthen the defenses. Also, I'll inform the elders to come here for a meeting. The atmosphere in the Red Leopard tribe was tense, and Lu Ming was still trying his best to recover. Half a day after returning to the Red Leopard tribe, his true origin had finally recovered to its peak. Shao Qing, let me undo the seal on your hands and feet. Walking out of the room, Lu Ming saw Xian Yanqing. Now, Xian Yanqing's injuries were much better, and he was almost fully recovered. Dummy, are you all right? Xian Yanqing looked at Lu Ming with concern. I'm fine. Lu Ming walked over and held Xian Yanqing's small hand in front of his eyes, and observed the seal ring on her wrist. Chapter 712. After a while, Lu Ming's finger moved in the air. lines of inscriptions appeared and then disappeared into the ring on Xian Yanqing's hand. Beautiful inscriptions appeared on the surface of the ring, and 2 poisonous snakes rushed out. The poisonous snakes collapsed in the air. Lu Ming held the ring and shook it with his true yuan. The ring broke into pieces. Then, Lu Ming did the same thing and untied all the other rings on Xian Yanqing's body. Boom! As soon as the rings were untied, Xian Yanqing's body emitted a strong aura. Then it slowly disappeared. Idiot, you saved my life this time, so I take back my previous promise. Xian Yanqing said. What promise? Lu Ming was surprised. Of course, the promise to trample you under my feet, idiot. Xian Yanqing blinked her big eyes and rolled her eyes at Lu Ming. Her face revealed a smile. Lu Ming smiled bitterly and touched his nose. He was speechless. Then his eyes flashed. He stretched out his arm and held Xian Yanqing's slender waist. He said, You saved my life. Shouldn't I repay you with my body? Why don't you repay me now? Feeling the heat from Lu Ming's arm, Xian Yanqing's face reddened. Her true qi burst out and she broke free. She said, Repay me with my body? You wish. Seeing that Lu Ming was depressed, Xian Yanqing smiled and said, However, it's not impossible. It depends on your performance in the future. Really? Lu Ming's eyes lit up. Not really. Xian Yanqing smiled and then asked about Lu Ming's experience in the past few days. They chatted with each other. In the Red Leopard Tribe's meeting hall, the atmosphere was extremely depressing. Tribe leader, there's a report from the front. The Yin Snake tribe has sent out an army and is rushing towards us. Someone reported. Pass down the order. Don't resist at the front line. Pull back all the troops and retreat to the ancient city. Qi Jin Kong ordered. He then turned to the elders and said, Elders, follow me to the city gate to welcome Yin Buhai. Afterwards, Qi Jin Kong and the elders of the Red Leopard tribe arrived at the western city gate of the ancient city. At this moment, there was already an army stationed around the city gate. About a few hours later, the wind howled, and a faint sound rang out between heaven and earth. Countless giant snake puppets appeared in the sky and on the ground. Each of the giant snake puppets had 1 to 2 people sitting on them. At a glance, there were at least tens of thousands of giant snake puppets, densely packed and filling the entire sky. On the Red Leopard tribe's side, dazzling inscriptions appeared on the city walls. Various powerful defensive formations and offensive formations appeared. At the same time, the warriors of the Red Leopard tribe knocked their arrows. The runes on the arrows shone brightly. A great battle was about to break out. The tribe leader of the Yin Snake tribe, Yin Buhai, walked out and stood in the void. A poisonous snake coiled around his neck and flicked its tongue. Yin Buhai's eyes emitted cold killing intent. He looked at Qi Jin Kong and said, Qi Jin Kong, your daughter Qi Yu and 2 outsiders are despicable and shameless. They sneaked into the territory of the Yin Snake tribe and ambushed and killed my son in Quebec. Now, hand them over and I'll retreat and let the Red Leopard tribe go. Ha Yin Buhai, you're really good at talking nonsense. I heard that your son wanted to defile someone's girlfriend and was killed in anger. He was killed in a frontal attack. How can you say that it was a sneak attack? Qi Jin Kong laughed. Humph, what defile? That bitch should be honored that my son likes her. Their lives are nothing compared to my son's. How can you compare to my son? Qi Jin Kong, I advise you to look at the situation clearly. Don't bring about the destruction of your Red Leopard tribe. Yin Buhai said coldly. That's impossible. Qi Jin Kong answered without hesitation. Yin Buhai frowned, and his face turned gloomy. His eyes flickered, and he said, How about this, Qi Jin Kong? I know you can't bear to part with your daughter. I don't want you to hand over Qi Yu. As long as you hand over the 2 people from the outside world, I will retreat. Impossible. Qi Jin Kong answered with the same words. Yin Buhai's face darkened completely. He said, Qi Jin Kong, don't refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. I'll give you 3 days to discuss this. After 3 days, if you don't hand over the 2 outsiders, I'll lead the army to flatten the Red Leopard tribe. I'll wipe out the Red Leopard tribe forever. After saying that, Yin Buhai waved his hand and left with his men. Soon, the army of the Yin snake tribe retreated. Yin Buhai was not afraid of the red leopard tribe. He had mobilized the army in a hurry and they were not strong enough. If he attacked the red leopard tribe rashly, both sides would suffer great losses. He also needed time to gather more power. After the Yin snake tribe retreated, Qi Jinkong heaved a sigh of relief. Pass down my order. Gather all the forces of the red leopard tribe and guard the ancient city. Elders, follow me to the meeting hall. Qi Jinkong ordered. After a while, the meeting hall of the red leopard tribe was filled with more than 20 people. Not only were the elders of the red leopard tribe there, but many ordinary elders were also there. Tribe leader, I think we should just hand over the two young men. Why do we have to start a war with the Yin snake tribe for two outsiders? Yes, tribe leader. Those two young men overestimated themselves and dared to kill Yin Quebec. They were digging their own graves. We can't implicate the red leopard tribe for two outsiders. Some ordinary elders persuaded Qi Jinkong to hand over Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing. Qi Jinkong's voice was heard. Tribe leader, why not? Some of the elders asked in confusion. At this point, I won't hide it from you. Lu Ming was able to crack the array that sealed the previous clan leader. Now, he has already cracked 100 array formations. There are only 36 array formations left. He will be able to crack all of them in a few days. By then, we will be able to find the inscription secret manual of our tribe and return our red leopard tribe to its peak. Qi Jinkong said. His voice swept across the place like a storm. What? Is that true? Many of the elders were astounded, before falling silent. They finally knew why Qi Jinkong wanted to protect Lu Ming. It was related to the rise and fall of the red leopard tribe. Tribe leader, I don't think so. A voice was heard. It was Qi Jinkong. He had been summoned back for a meeting after such a serious incident. Qi Jinkong walked out and said loudly, there are only 36 formations left. We don't know if Lu Ming can crack them. Besides, even if he does, we will get the secret book of inscription. So what? The Yin snake tribe will destroy our tribe before we can rise. I think we should hand over Lu Ming and that woman to stabilize the Yin snake tribe. That way, we can at least prevent our tribe from being destroyed. Qi Jinkong's words made many elders ponder. Indeed, Qi Jinkong's words were reasonable. What was the point of getting the secret book of inscription if the tribe was destroyed? Chapter 7:13. Seeing everyone's expression, Qi Jinshan had a smug look on his face as he continued. Moreover, there are only 36 sealing arrays left. As long as we hand over Lu Ming and that lady, we can stabilize the Yin snake tribe and slowly think of ways to crack the last 36 arrays. This is the best plan. That's right, Elder Qi Jinshan is right. An elder spoke, supporting Qi Jinshan's words. Qi Jinshan's eyes flashed with excitement. I object. Our tribe is indebted to Lu Ming. If we treat someone who is indebted to us in this way, how will others view our tribe in the future? Moreover, the most important thing now is the awakening of the ancient ancestor. As long as we stop the attack of the Shadow Snake tribe, we will enter a period of truce. If Lu Ming can awaken the ancient ancestor will definitely value our tribe. That's the foundation of our rise. Qi Yu's second uncle, Qi Jintian, said. That's right, I agree with second brother. Qi Jinkong said. Second brother, patriarch, you think too highly of Lu Ming. This time, there are many outsiders. How do you know that Lu Ming is the destined one? We can't bet the fate of our tribe on such a small possibility. Now, we have to deal with the Shadow Snake tribe. Protecting our tribe is the key. Qi Jinshan said loudly. Many people nodded their heads. What if I can destroy the Shadow Snake tribe? Suddenly, a voice came from outside the main hall, causing everyone's heart to tremble. Everyone's gaze involuntarily turned towards the outside of the main hall. 3 youthful figures walked in. Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing and Qi Yu. The words just now were spoken by Lu Ming. This is our tribe's meeting hall. How can you bring two outsiders in? Qi Jinshan scolded. Don't worry. Lu Ming is our benefactor. You can come in to discuss. Qi Jinkong waved his hand, causing Qi Jinshan's face to darken. Qi Jinshan looked at Lu Ming and said, Lu Ming, what did you just say? Can you destroy the Shadow Snake tribe? Not bad. Lu Ming nodded. Ha! What shameless boasting. You're just a heaven-rank inscription master? To be able to exterminate the Shadow Snake tribe, brat, do you know how strong the Shadow Snake tribe is? What a joke. Qi Jinshan laughed loudly, revealing a mocking expression. Hee, I remember you also said that I was boasting shamelessly. How could a mere Tian realm break the seal? How did I break it in the end? Lu Ming replied indifferently. Qi Jinshan's face turned red. Back then, he had indeed said such words. But reality proved that his words were nothing but nonsense. This matter and the matter of breaking the seal are two completely different matters. The Shadow Snake tribe is incomparably powerful and reigns supreme over 10 tribes in the surrounding area. How could it be destroyed so easily? Qi Jinshan scolded coldly. Of course I have my ways. Lu Ming said. If you have an idea, why don't you share it with us so that we can see if your idea will work? Qi Jinshan said. I can't tell you now. Even if I do, I'll only tell the patriarch. Lu Ming said. You're just trying to stall for time. Why would you say such nonsense? Qi Jinshan snapped. Because I don't trust you. Lu Ming's eyes turned cold. What? Kid, what do you mean by that? How dare you slander me? I'll kill you right now. Qi Jinshan roared furiously. That's enough, sixth brother, back off. I trust Lu Ming. At that instant, Qi Jinshan spoke with an unquestionable tone. I trust Lu Ming too. Qi Jintian and the other elders spoke one after another. Qi Jinshan and a few elders with great authority spoke, causing the others to fall silent. Thank you for your trust. Patriarch, can you ask the others to back off? Senior Qi Jinshan and the elders can stay. I have a plan to eliminate the Shadow Snake tribe. Lu Ming said. All right, all of you back off. Qi Jinshan waved his hand, leaving no room for doubt. Qi Jinshan's face turned ghastly pale. He gritted his teeth and backed off. Soon, only Qi Jinshan, and a few elders were left in the hall. Of course, Qi Yu and Xian Yanqing were also there. Lu Ming, do you have a plan to eliminate the Shadow Snake tribe? Qi Jinshan's eyes flashed with hope. He would be satisfied as long as he could stop the attack of the Shadow Snake tribe, let alone eliminate them. Patriarch, if the Shadow Snake tribe attacks the Red Leopard tribe, should they attack from the sky or from the ground? Lu Ming did not answer the question. Of course, from the ground. If they attack from the sky, they will be covered by our arrows. They can't inscribe formations in the sky to resist the arrows. If they use inscription talismans, they won't be able to afford it. If they attack from the ground, they can cooperate with each other. One person can control the puppets and the other can inscribe formations to resist our arrows. At the same time, they can shoot arrows to fight back. Qi Jinshan explained. Lu Ming smiled and said, That's good. If I have a way to cut off the connection between the people of the Shadow Snake tribe and the puppets, are you sure you can defeat the Shadow Snake tribe? What? Cut off the connection between the people of the Shadow Snake tribe and the puppets? Qi Jinshan's eyes were blazing with fire. The others were almost the same. If we can do that, we can lead the puppet army and annihilate the Shadow Snake tribe. Qi Jinshan's eyes were extremely bright. He stared at Lu Ming. If they could really annihilate the Shadow Snake tribe, the prestige of the Red Leopard tribe would definitely soar and their strength would improve rapidly. That's good. I know a formation. As long as it is set up, the puppets controlled by the enemy can enter the formation and cut off the connection between the people and the puppets. As long as the formation is set up outside the ancient city, the Shadow Snake tribe will die if they attack. Lu Ming smiled confidently. There is such a wonderful formation? Qi Jinshan was shocked. He then frowned and said, If that's the case, won't the people of my tribe be cut off from the puppets when they rush in? Don't worry. I have a little trick to control the puppets. After using it, you can avoid being cut off from the puppets by the formation. It's very easy to learn. You can learn it in a few hours. Lu Ming took out a jade badge and gave it to Qi Jinshan. He said, Patriarch, you can teach this little trick to some of your trusted subordinates. But don't tell them what it's used for. It will be troublesome if it's spread. Good. Qi Jinshan took it and laughed excitedly. The others were also very excited. There's no time to lose. I'll go and carve the formation now. But Patriarch, you'd better keep an eye on the elder of Qi Jinshan. Lu Ming seemed to be implying something. Qi Jinshan's eyes flickered. He said thoughtfully, Don't worry. I know what to do. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Immortal Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.